That's Bob.
We're all gonna have to share mics tonight. Uh, uh, I'm not gonna do it this way. Disconnect. Connect with my laptop. Give me a second here.
Not pretty? Bravo. Bravo.
Yeah, I have a 75, and I bet we barely have enough space for it. 75. All right. Zoom. Zoom is recording. AI companion. That's running. Okay. We are good there.
Oh, you turned it.
Yeah, keep that right with you.
I didn't want it.
Huh?
Go ahead.
No, all right. So I'm gonna call the budget meeting to order. We have three projects tonight. We have the road construction and fire department special ask. And then we have a review of the first draft, and then we need to work on the presentation for the public hearing next week. So I guess we'll kick it off with the big ticket item.
Road.
Road. Yeah. Uh, 450. I have it. Bob gave it to me last night and I plugged it in. So fuel prices, right? Can you kind of give us kind of a breakdown of what's in the 450 and where the cost centers are in relation to that? Well, 340,000, 4,000, 2 weeks ago, base,
an inch and a half of the 12.5. And that includes all the shoulder work after the paving from whoever ends up getting the contract.
Yep. Okay. And
Other than that, it'd be ditching, cutting the brush back. There's 3 different sections that have rocks in them. Digging that up after they grind the pavement. That's kind of a guessing on that because we don't know really what's in there yet.
now we had discussed last week, and there was some concern around it of splitting the work over, basically delaying the start of the project until spring, and then funding the second half of it on a separate warrant. So you basically split the cost over 2 budget cycles. What is the kind of the pros and cons to that to kind of minimize the increase on a year-to-year basis? Because last year we budgeted 370, this year would be 450, or about a 22% increase. Not to say that we're not going to fund the whole project, but basically kind of blunt the property tax impact.
I don't see how you could grind it and pave it next year. So the only thing you can do is all the ditching, shoulder work. Oh, no, you couldn't do the shoulder work because that'd be after the paving. Brush work, you can't even do the rocks at that point. or the 3 lifts.
When is the industry standard to grind? July?
We could,
Right now.
soon as the
Okay.
posters come off, you could grind.
Okay.
So you could do
So you could
first in
grind
June and then
in
do in July, right?
April of next year and then pave in July at the start of the fiscal year.
You'd be lucky if you can get them to cry. That's how we're trying to get in.
Yep.
Once you get into the summer, they're busy.
Yep. Nope.
Don't get
It's-
them again until late in the fall. And then, right down to the line, you get back.
Yep. Nope.
And won't get them at all.
So, just to make sure I understand, the last thing, so with grinding it all down, fixing with road base,
Fixing the base under the pavement
yeah.
as well.
Yeah, and then of course, they all
Yeah.
that.
So-
Is that like half mile of road?
It's almost a mile.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's just under a mile.
I don't know, I don't need this, you know.
Right. Because I think the state's getting what, $1 million a mile? Yep.
Yeah.
I guess this is more directed at Bob. We're gonna have funds left over then from the bridge project.
No. Well, we should have funds left over in the sense that we allocated $950,000 and it only should cost $600,000.
Is that because we're getting the money back?
Right,
from
it's the
state?
reimbursement from the state.
The reimbursement is supposed to go back into undesignated funds.
Well, right, but what I'm saying is there's going to be money left over going back into undesignated funds that we could in theory use to blunt some of the increase
We could
on
appropriate-
replacing the Sadie Dunn Road.
We could-
Basically,
Right.
pay for it all. Pay for it all, but instead of pushing it all onto a property tax increase, fund some of it with undesignated funds.
You get some
We can
of that-
appropriate.
You got 300 coming back, so we wanna turn around and take that 300 and put it in another account.
Right,
Right,
Without anything back,
right. We would
Right.
have to appropriate it, not,
appropriate.
we don't have to
Right.
raise it.
So we'd only be raising 150, 100, 150.
I think I'm gonna be on the safe side because we don't know. Yeah, the bridge estimate's at 1.2 million, we're supposed to get 60% back, so if there's any overage there, it could skew it, so I would be safe at 200
What's the finished date for the bridge-ish?
before the end of the fiscal year. I mean, they've got one abutment almost done. And now I think they're moving all of the equipment to the other side. The steel is here, right?
It's available for delivery whenever they call it.
So if you put the 200 now, we follow the bridge along, we could adjust
I think
that.
it'll be after the
closer.
fiscal year.
Say it again.
I think their
Okay.
project will end up being after the fiscal
Yeah.
year because the paving companies aren't gonna open before then.
Right.
Yeah.
The paving company, what? I'm sorry.
The paving companies won't open up before then,
Okay.
so they won't be able to get their pavement.
Right. So that's
to
why I'm,
finish it.
When does the paving company open?
It's after all the frost comes out. And they don't have to worry about it getting below freezing. Cause they have to put water and stuff in their plant and they don't want it to freeze.
so I would say that'd be probably beginning of May or middle of April.
No, more
Yeah,
like
it's
June.
More like June.
June.
So pretty
Southern
close to
states will start
fiscal year.
Yes.
My suggestion. So if you have any funds left over from the bridge project. To keep it on the Lake Hill Road. To improve that road. That road gets probably more traffic than the Sadie Dunn Road does.
Right.
You're gonna see,
Some disagreeing over there?
But
No.
yeah, but-
no, you're
but-
gonna have, you're gonna have an increase of traffic on that road once that
Right.
bridge is finished.
Oh, yeah.
And
that
it's
should be
pretty
ground.
busted up.
Fire trucks and
Just,
Right.
just on the
buses,
hill.
right?
From
Yeah.
the hill to
The hill needs to be
the
ground.
north. Be ground.
Ron and Nancy got a one speed on, I think.
Yeah.
Well, I talked about that with Ron and he said, geez, I know how to shoot them.
Shoot 'em with a tennis ball.
do we have any other, that was another question from last time, I think, any other unspent, not necessarily undesignated money that was road stuff, like there was that 125,000, did we ever track that down?
I'm not sure what you mean by the 120.
There was like, I don't know.
I think there was some accounting numbers that we're waiting on the audit to clean up.
Okay, so
Stuff.
just possibly that money,
I don't think that was money coming in. I think that was,
not coming in, it's already there doing. Because according to the 2024 budget or audit, it wasn't spent.
I think it was the female.
I think it was a thing.
FEMA,
Is that right? That we were having that conversation and trying to track that down if
that's
that's,
FEMA money.
It would have already been spent. This would have just, no.
it
the-
wasn't spent at the end of 24.
No,
So did we spend it last year?
this, about 300,000, we spent maybe 100.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we gotta get that audit first, find out how much.
So potentially there's money from that for the Sadie Dunn.
Right, because it would go into, I think either way, like I said, I'm not opposed to getting the City Dunn Road done. I think that it's clear that it needs to be done, I think. And I think some of it is kind of contingent on the audit and what's in undesignated funds. Because I don't disagree. I think we're gonna do.
You also have the contingency fund
Committed.
for the town road, right? Is there any reason you couldn't take enough out of that
The
to
capital.
do the
Capital.
capital road?
Yeah, we should look at how much.
I mean, we
is-
put 50,000 in this year, so that.
Yeah,
Adam,
but that's built a long time before just this
Right.
year.
I know, but since I've been in town politics for the last 6 years, we put 50,000 in per year. Have we tapped it?
I've worked for the town for 20 years.
And you guys have never tapped it?
We've only pulled $50,000. I think it was $60,000.
60,000 out of it.
You got
When we did the-
485,000 here.
When we
According
did
to
the project on Eiffelborn Road. That was the only time I've ever heard of any money being pulled out of it.
It's been quarter money.
Yeah, but that wasn't out of capital. That was designated for the state to do a project down there and they didn't do it. But I think that rolled into the capital, didn't it?
as of year end 2024, you had $485,137 in capital improvements for roads. You had 125,000 that says roads not spent. This one I don't know. North Road Safety Project for 45,000. I don't know if that got done or not. Okay, so not you guys.
If I assume you pulled the print.
This was from the audit because we
The
don't.
audit
have
said
anything.
400,000 last year.
400.
Plus we put another 50. Yeah,
The capital fund?
But we gotta find out what it is, but if we
Right.
didn't spend it, it doesn't sound like we spent it, it's there.
I mean, at that point there. I
I
don't,
didn't spend it, you guys.
no,
spent it.
no, I guess that gets. For the sake of the warrant, we wouldn't necessarily need to even warrant that article.
No,
No.
not for the cap.
Not for the
Oh,
capital.
the capital?
Yeah,
Take care of safety down at capital, but all you have to worry about it. The improvements, so, throw up the,
right,
and that would come from the leftover money from the Blake Hill project, if there is any. That's what you're suggesting,
I mean,
but to put it
How long
towards
is-
it.
I haven't done the numbers on Blake
Right.
Hill.
and that one would require,
If you,
yeah.
right? I mean,
Again, it needs to sell.
oh, I don't disagree. I mean, the question is then, do we want to put money at all in the road construction loan? If we're gonna do a capital pull and the use of the undesignated funds left over from the Blake Hill.
What if you drop it down, and I'm just guessing, this would be you guys, about like 100,000 for just general. I'm sorry, we're on road construction, road maintenance, I get confused.
If you had to guess,
I'd rather see it as you raise the 200 or 230 that you did last year.
at 370,
Yeah, the 370, and take the remainder out of the capital so that you could do some of those projects that I was saying before that didn't get done since 17, which
Yeah, I don't disagree.
And you're
I wouldn't
gonna,
mind having some money left in some account. So if you have a
I mean, I,
70
I think we could safely draw capital down 100,000. And that would leave you 300,000 in the event that we had a major washout. There's capital is sitting there and you can expense capital and then reimburse capital from FEMA, which I think is kind of the direction we want to go anyways.
Could ours respond to her? Well, wait.
well, we got 1.19 million in the committed fund balance for general funds, so there's all kinds of money hanging around.
We got 4 million.
Well, this is only one section on what we have left and we don't have the audit done yet, but going back to leaving the 370 in the construction account, we haven't done that drive around priority list, correct? Or did you guys get a chance to do the priority list?
Driving around, all of them down all the time. You see what I'm getting at? This is where we come here and give you a pretty good idea of what needs to be done where. Granted, I don't have it on the computer.
Well, I don't care. I'm asking for you drive them, you know them. I understand that, but we also have this computer system, but
That's
so.
what we got. Some idea of what needs to be done. What done, what.
I remember the culverts and I remember the ditches, but I don't remember the road except for Sadie Dunn. So if we cover Sadie Dunn and we cover Blake Hill.
Pretty brought all that in.
Well, all the other information was under road maintenance.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. I will look at my notes. So there is other projects that you've got.
Right. So the basically we're looking at is the biggest chunk of the road budget besides the plowing contract, which is the construction piece, which is usually one major project per year.
Right.
And I think, we have 3 major paved roads, if I'm correct. Being Blake Hill and
Bean Road's the longest town road,
Right.
paved road.
Wingsman still.
Fair question.
Yeah, well, it's more for this gets recorded and uploaded to YouTube.
So if you guys use this fiscal year before July 1st, capital funds to start the Sadie Dunn Road, ripping it up, etc. And we then vote other money, in June for July 1st. Would that accomplish a similar objective that Tyler was asking about for next year?
Kind of what we're doing now, because we're taking the 40,000 that's left and
Right.
starting this spring.
That's why I'd like to see us get bids out for the work we do want. Say, this spring.
Yeah.
I mean, you-
Right, because we could, in theory, here's the other option, is fund the entire Sadie Dunn project out of capital funds and then vote to just put the money back into capital.
That's an idea too. If you got bids in the next whatever, and you committed to paving.
Well, the bid-
How long do you think it would take before the paving could happen?
Yeah, it's gonna be only good for 30 days.
The paving bid, you mean?
Yeah.
Just because of the price variation.
They could, that,
You
there's,
might want to wait, hopefully it'll. come
Yeah.
back
oh,
down.
it is, it could change.
Yeah,
their price per ton goes up and down with fuel price
Right.
or liquid asphalt price.
all right.
I mean,
But
we
if you get a bid now,
actually saved a
it'll
little.
come back down.
We saved a little on the C
But
C
it's
corner
only good for
road
30 days.
because it went down after they gave us the price, so they actually kicked it back to us.
Right, but basically you sign the bid and then it takes them a little bit to get started, and if there's any fluctuation in oil, that gets put back in your bid.
Well,
No, he just said
regardless-
wait a few months, so I
Yeah.
said it's only got a 30-day
Right.
window.
Regardless of how long the bid is good for. If you commit soon, this spring, whatever, to Pike, which you said is pretty much the only company you deal
Well,
with, even
we
though
got some other ones
put it
now.
out to bid, but technically they're probably gonna win, right? How soon do you think you could get on their schedule.
I wouldn't know unless I asked them.
Okay,
Because usually what they've been doing is they're pushing the towns to the end of their year
yeah,
to do all the state projects.
yeah, it's always like cold when they're paving. One wonders how
Yeah.
that lasts, I don't know.
That's why,
And we, both paving companies that we did the same thing.
Yeah,
They said they try to do that because they don't want to lose the state projects.
Yep.
There's a lot more money.
yeah, but they also said if we can get the bids to them, they can get started early.
Yeah.
They do always early.
They'll, they'll at least do,
They're at the time where they're not getting started yet.
Mhm. They'll at least do the grinding and whatnot.
And we assume that this money's here because it wasn't spent. We have it
Capital, I
available
don't-
to move forward.
The only
with
way the
paving.
capital gets expenses is if the select board authorizes it at a vote. We haven't voted to authorize the use of road capital.
So
Plus,
it should be there.
plus there should be another 50,000 in there because we voted at town meeting to put another 50,000 in road capital.
Yeah, I do remember that.
So, and then I know there was a miscategorization of when FEMA money.
And I can't find, road capital. In the,
Right, 'cause I don't think, Dorcas has said she hasn't brought in starting balances for those accounts into Trio yet. Hence why we are having a special town meeting, so we can get that work done.
I was told you weren't gonna figure it out until after the audit.
Well, that's
Exactly.
basically, it's all connected to the audit, bringing balances
Gets
close.
Yeah.
But we can bring 2024's numbers in. It's bringing basically knowing what the final numbers for this year are. We won't know until the audit. So. I guess I mean, I would favor pulling capital. So that way they could get on the bid schedule.
And whose permit, do you need the select board permission to do that, or because that money's there, it's okay?
So basically, in 2 weeks, the select board would put it on their agenda. To authorize an expense out of capital of the amount of $450,000. Noting that we're going to reimburse capital. 370,000.
Does that give you guys enough time to get a bid together?
Well, basically, once we authorize the expense, they can put the bid through whenever.
I know, but that gives them a 2-week lead time so they can have the bid ready, because it sounds like time is of the essence is what I'm hearing. That's enough time for you guys.
To get the bids together now. Should be.
Or
It's just
as
sitting
soon
down.
as you're,
Right.
No.
We can vote to expense the capital and then we can take a second vote to post the RFP.
So the RFP can't go out until you vote to
Expense the capital.
expense the cat, right?
but they
So-
could have it ready.
Right,
Right,
Okay.
Same thing.
right.
right.
I'm still not understanding why you wanna pull it all out of capital.
We're basically pull it from capital, get the project all authorized and lined up, and then just fill back capital out of property taxes.
So that you guys have
You'll build the
the earlier
capital
part
back
of the
up.
season.
Basically, we can rebuild the,
It's already got into the account.
They don't know yet.
It
Don't have
looks
an
like
exact-
485.
based on last year's audit, 400,000.
485.
So,
Even if you put it out. And they decided that they're only on 1/3 down.
No, I don't think they do that. I don't think any of the paving companies do
Is
that.
is it different companies that would rip up the road than pave it?
No, same one.
So Pike
Same
would
ones I
do the,
talked to.
if Pike wins.
If
the bid,
Pike got it, Pike would
Yeah.
grind
They
it.
would do the whole thing.
Yeah.
I see.
Some other companies might have to hire a different grinder.
Yeah, that's possible, but
So some companies could do all the construction and then just buy the pavement for Pike. But you want one vendor to do the whole project?
well, it doesn't matter. It's just-
Don't matter.
Thank you. City, you can have, but
I mean, would you put out one bid for the whole project or multiple bids?
I'd put out one.
One bid? Okay.
So 2 weeks is the 23rd, I think, right?
Yep.
Can you put it on the agenda?
yeah. All y'all.
just put it on both sides so that they know the bids would be there for them,
Yep.
take out.
So I think and correct me if I'm wrong, then we would, for this upcoming fiscal year, we would not fund the road construction line. And we would instead raise our normal capital allocation to 370,000. So it'd be a flat year to year, but we would basically rebuild the capital account.
So would you have enough in maintenance, not have to worry about moving it around between accounts? That's the question.
I don't know.
I mean,
I,
the other option is
didn't come here thinking.
so the other,
Sure. Just take it from surplus.
and not use the capital funds?
What surplus do we have?
Well, you can't do that.
Well, it's not surplus, it's undesignated. No, we'd have to put it in the
Right.
special town meeting that we.
So
What
if you wait until July, then you could do that, yeah.
right, I think the solution is to not wait until July
No.
and just replenish
Your
capital.
special town that you're gonna have that week.
I don't think they're really gonna gain any by doing it.
Well, Bob, we've already voted on what the topics are for that special town meeting. We can't add to it.
Okay.
I don't think special town meetings are good for that amount of money. I don't know.
No, we're using it for two very straightforward things. Join the MMA Health Trust and a stopgap funding for accounting work. Like, otherwise, this is a road construction project that we know in advance. Either we fund it out of capital, which is money we've already raised, and we just authorize it and then we rebuild that account, because that's what a capital account is there for, is a project like this.
Yeah, I was just saying, you got.
That's also
all-
what we
all
always
the
use
year
road
time.
construction for the past 20 years.
Right. Well, I mean, why not use the account and then build it back up again and be in 6 years? Well, I mean,
I agree with you, Tyler, but I don't think we ought to keep going after undesignated fund balance until there's nothing left.
right. That's why I,
Don't think that's a good habit.
Well, we have fees.
That's what he said, not you, right? Undesignated.
right. I'm saying to use capital,
Yeah, it's there.
right, the 400 and some odd thousand out of capital. I don't know the exact number in capital, but we know it's at least over 400,000. And then we can replenish capital at town meeting.
Raising 3.7.
What is
Raising
the-
That's what I'm trying to figure out. I mean, if you do it the other way, you can pull it out of capital and cover what's not covered under your budget. The way you're doing it, there's nothing left.
Well, yes and no, because we're going to vote at town meeting to put 370 back into capital. So you're going to pull 470 before the end of the fiscal year, and then on the first day of the new fiscal year, you're going to put 370,000 back into capital,
Replenish the capital. Mostly.
mostly.
I don't see the point in it, doing it that way.
It basically allows you to authorize the project before the end of the fiscal year.
And you guys can get the bids out if that's what you want in.
I can put the bids
Late
out anyways,
March.
and usually what we put on the bids is, this is contingent on
Okay.
what happens at town meeting.
Will that work for the scheduling, you think, go for them?
That's how we've always done it. I would rather see you guys raise that money. I mean, you don't have to raise all of it. Take some of it out of capital, but don't take it all out. So that if something happens, you've got it, or if a project runs over, you could do that without a special town meeting.
Might wanna know when it did it.
That's,
I actually half mile of road because we usually figure $1 a mile.
almost a mile.
4,900.
So when you said 400,000, I'm skeptical if that's enough, frankly.
So
It's
what
getting
about this? I've got another solution. What if we kept the road construction line flat at 370? And then whatever the overage is on the project, we draw from capital.
That's what I said 20 minutes ago.
No.
Alright.
Then we're back to that
Hang
and
on with this.
I'm fine with it. I think we can, but we can straight face say that we've looked at the various funding options available and we think this is the best one.
I mean, there's a lot of paving projects that still need to be done in the town.
I don't disagree.
So how would we
Funds that might be left over from the Blake Hill project be put into this rotation.
I think I mean, my personal opinion on that is that we have a warrant article to move the all unused funds from the Blake Hill project into roads capital. And then just start building that account up for, if we've identified that we're gonna basically replace the Blake Hill Bridge, and then we're gonna have a nice shiny brand new bridge with a fairly rough road on either end of it, that's logically gonna be the next paving project.
Not bad.
The only thought that I had on doing the Blake Hill is you ought to do Hovey Loose Road at the same exact time. Because you're not paying for them to move the equipment.
Yep.
That one's pretty rough.
I think it's only half a mile.
Well, assuming on the Blake Hill Bridge, that the project comes in near budget, we should have something on the order of $470,000 left over.
Right, and that's money we've already raised,
Right.
and we just take it and we say, we were authorized to spend this up for the bridge. We're coming in under budget, we want to take that money and continue with road projects. But we keep the property tax impact the same.
See, you don't even have to say any of that though. It's already covered under your Articles 32 or 4.
No, but the Blake Hill was special, that one we're gonna have to
Oh,
write
yes,
again
right,
to roll
you're right.
that.
You're right.
Capital.
That was
The
out of,
article says that on the bridge, we appropriate up to 950,000 for the bridge. Any amount recovered from the state will go back into the undesignated fund.
that's what I thought.
So we just have to take it back out.
So it's not unspent. That's it. The way it's worded is what comes back from the state.
Right.
So we'd have to vote to take it out.
I think we're at the level right now. where,
Mhm.
I mean, it just comes down to a warrant article that says whatever money's left in the Blake Hill Bridge, account that would otherwise go back into undesignated will then move to the road capital, and then the existing road capital in that. Test.
It's better.
Yep,
I think it needs a new battery.
maybe.
With the 450 or whatever. Oh, plus. All right.
No,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, some of them are being funky.
With test.
There you
Okay.
go.
With the 450 that's in capital plus the 450 that's in, these are super directional.
Yeah, they are.
I think we need a warrant article to upgrade these microphones. You got 7, 8, 900,000 ready to go July 1st if it gets approved. And
Right.
450 of it, you don't have to go to town meeting for.
Mhm.
I
It's just,
need the beginning of what you said again, because what you just read, it's only the money that comes back from the state. It's not the 950 that we appropriated for.
That's right.
Right.
The leftovers.
Project comes in at 1.2 million, we would expect to get 720,000 back from the state.
And then you think that 470 of the weight
I doubt.
would be unspent? Am I doing that right?
It would not be used on the Blake Hill Bridge.
Right.
If we don't have.
Right, basically what
Okay.
we're saying is last year we voted that we were going to, we didn't know that the state was gonna be involved in the Blake Hill project at all. We had a bid back for right around 850,000, so we authorized up to 950,000. Right as we were about to sign it, the state swooped in and said, okay, we'll pay for 60%. So what we're saying is
With
now,
some modifications.
with some modifications, so the bridge project went up to 1.2 million, but they're still gonna pay 60% of it. So when you take the 60% of that and you subtract that out of the 1.2 million, there's a chunk of money left over. And so we paid that percentage. You take that percentage that we paid minus the 950, there's gonna be money left over. But we're gonna go back at town meeting and say, we already know whatever's left over out of that amount is going back into undesignated funds. We're going to then take it back out of undesignated funds and move it to roads capital
In a warrant?
in a
Right.
warrant article.
Okay.
And it'll basically worded the exact same way as the two big warrant articles last year, the fire truck authorization and the bridge.
So now
Yeah.
it just comes down to, do you still raise 300 whatever for road construction or not?
And that's what you said, yes.
Yes.
Do that, take the extra 125, whatever, out of
Capital.
capital.
Because we'd still want to leave a little bit of a buffer in capital for an emergency.
That would be a good chunk if you're only taking out 100 something.
Right. So that would leave you 300,000 for an emergency, which is roughly what the last
Yeah.
big FEMA was
That's
about 300.
about what that level was.
Right. The last big FEMA storm was about $300,000 in damage. So, you have that built in as a reserve. You move the 450,000 back in, then you can do the project. All the while, you're not increasing property taxes. You're keeping it the same, and we're maintaining a rate of construction on our roads.
Kurt, I think you guys could get by with a little less than the normal construction budget. Given that,
Given that you got it in the other, yeah.
yeah. I mean, that would help offset some of the.
I mean,
other-
the other cut
Yeah.
is we're not going to do our normal 50,000 capital raise.
That's
so that-
too.
You're going to cut that out as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
But
I've been leaving it in, taking out, leaving it in, taking it out.
I think we should take it out this year.
Oh, I have
Yeah.
pronouns too.
But let's take
Right.
50 grand out of the
right.
construction
Construction as
budget
well.
and 50 grand out of capital. That's
So what's the
that's
final
100 grand.
number
taxpayer
that you're saying we want to raise?
So I think based on the conversation we just had, we're going to draw on capital a little bit more. We're not going to put money directly from property taxes into capital like we normally do. And we're going to drop road construction to 320,000. That would be a 14% cut. And an 8% cut overall to what we directly fund through property taxes, and a 2% overall. It's
And I think
to
it
see it.
still leaves you around
That's
450,000 in the capital.
Yep.
Yeah.
Around.
right. Plus, you'll have if the other warrant passes, we'll have all of the funds from left over from Blake Hill also going into capital
And going to Blake Hill.
and going to Blake Hill and Hubby Loose.
Okay.
So the 320 would go to Sadie Dunn,
We go to Sadie Dunn.
and that's definitely going to happen this year.
Yes.
Yes.
And then whatever's in capital above and beyond 320,000 is going to fund the Sadie Dunn. Then we'll put more money into capital, and then we either have to build it up again, or if there's enough there, we trigger the Blake Hill. I estimate most likely we'd have to wait.
It's already at 455,000 after we already took the 80,000.
Right, but we don't know. The estimate is $1 million a mile. That's normal. They're saying we may be able to come in under that. So that's why you're authorizing. You've got 320,000 plus capital. That gives you $700,000 to work with on Sadie Dunn, roughly. Then whatever's left over from all of that, plus the Blake Hill, you start building it back up to do Blake Hill, if that makes sense.
Or
We got Hubby Loose right behind it.
that's what I mean. Blake
Right.
Hill, have a loose. I do.
He was proposing doing both at the same time.
They just.
So
cross
that's
road.
why,
'Cause that
that's
would-
where I kind of made the comment of worst case scenario is you wait another year, and in the next budget cycle, you basically do the same thing again. And you'd have 3 roads done with, I mean, you're still raising 600,000, but it's not up and above normal what we normally raise.
So Kurt, did you agree on a number for the normal construction budget? What we could go down to?
Yeah, I mean, if you stayed right at the 320 or 320, well, 320.
Looking for
370.
we're looking
That's
for
what's
less, I
happening.
believe. My opinion, and this is just my opinion, I think
No,
that
it's 320.
when we ask taxpayers to spend money in the undesignated, it's not that only that we're not raising new money, but we are spending their money.
Mhm.
So I think it would be nice to offer up that, okay, we're not going to raise as much this year that is tax money, but here's how we want to spend, this
The money
money
that
that
we've
was
already
approved
used.
last year. I mean, I think it's reasonable.
Yeah.
To say that, over the years, we've built up capital, through negotiations with the state, we were able to get the Blake Hill Bridge to come in under budget. Now we're going to take that and pay it forward and reduce what we're raising.
Now, in your back
Makes sense to me.
pocket, Kurt, is the LRAP money.
Well, that's the other thing. You're taking the LRAP money and putting it
in capital
in
as well.
capital, so there's another 50
Right.
that's
Right.
not raised by
But I
the
think
town.
Bob pointed out that that goes in back to undesignated, but I'm just saying, you know,
Right towards the,
you made the point that it's supposed to be
yeah,
for roads,
right.
but
I think going forward, I think it's easy to write a warrant article that says all potential revenues related to roads goes into roads capital. And that way there, it's straightforward and easy that, you know, we don't necessarily need to have a dedicated road capital line in the budget. We just know we're gonna have these revenues coming in and that's how you build up the capital. And then you get into situations now where we have significant capital build up. You can do a major project using your normal road construction line.
Bob, can LRAP go directly to roads if we have a warrant article for that?
it's not covered in that article.
No, but it,
It
you know, I
could.
mean, there's no state rule that would prohibit that.
No.
Okay.
It, they used to send a letter that would say, where did you use these funds? The letter does not say that.
I see.
They just assume that we're using funds.
Well, yeah, I mean, we're using it.
Well,
50 grand, yeah. I could use that this weekend on a washout.
I don't get that much.
The only one that does say that is FEMA.
What's
Yeah.
that?
The only one that does say that is FEMA's money.
Yes. FEMA, yeah.
It states
So-
in there that you can't use it to lower the property taxes.
Okay, so from 320 down to what?
No, 370 down to 320.
Oh, okay.
And then, so that actually leaves you with an $80,000 cut in what we raise in that area. Now, understanding that we're gonna draw
Yeah.
on capital. So,
I think that could be sold in my opinion.
Yep.
So we're done?
and now we have Jake Burn Roads, yeah?
Can I ask another question?
Yep.
It's probably not related to this budget meeting, but there's enough selectmen here. The Echo Lake Road there's a house beyond where we plow. And I don't know if you guys want to add that to the contract or if we're not going to plow that. We kind of had an agreement with Fayette that Fayette was plowing it and they didn't.
So it's in Mount Vernon though.
It's in Mount Vernon.
We got messed up this year. We forgot, we didn't forget to plow it. We just didn't plow it because we figured Fayette was plowing it last year, so we figured they would do it this year. They decided not to. Oh,
They go by all the time.
This is where you.
They're
put it
telling
in
us
writing?
that they're not.
Yeah.
doing that.
oh,
They go to the stop sign and they hang a left
oh gee, really?
Wait,
all the time.
wait, so are they picking up their plow blade by that house?
So
They,
do we have to improve the road though, in order to do it?
We didn't improve it for Fayette to do it.
Okay, so
I mean, it needs gravel and trees, but
Took some trees down, but power lines in,
yeah, they did.
stump's right out next to the road, so. Don't do it now,
It's,
may not have a chance to.
So we. need
I don't
to
believe it's
we
happening
need to do
now.
A little work. And then tell us how many miles. Point something miles.
but what do you guys like to measure that? So you don't think I'm measuring it wrong? I don't want no kickback on anything.
That'll be one measure.
Be
And I
talking
think
100
add
feet
that
or
in there.
1,000
We'll
feet?
just
You
add
can
that
look at
to
this
the
plow
agenda.
contract. See,
How many feet do you estimate?
what's that?
How many
I
feet
can
do
see
you
the
estimate?
place past greenhouse,
Yes,
past greenhouse on the left.
that new
Yeah.
one that Audette's was building.
Yeah, okay.
So what are you talking, 500 feet?
It's probably more like 1,000.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It
Oh,
might be a
well,
little
now
over
you're talking
1,000.
real money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
But
agree with
that's
that.
also up to the town,
But it's
whether you guys want to turn around in their driveway. If we talk to them and ask them if we can turn around their driveway, it'd only be another 300 feet.
Camp Vega,
No,
the Camp Vega driveway.
no, the new homeowner.
Oh,
So there's a new house there?
Yes.
Is it a nice house? Big tax bill?
oh, yeah.
Okay.
You might as well plow it.
I know.
Don't if it wasn't.
No, seriously, I mean, a house like, I don't know the house, but it could easily be $8,000 tax bill for 1 year, so.
I feel bad because he's been plowing it.
It's a
Yeah,
Mount
yeah,
Vernon
it's-
property, yes?
Yeah.
Yes.
so
That's
we
our
have to plow it.
responsibility, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
so I'll just say, I think we'll just put it on our agenda for the next meeting and
I was just saying that that goes back to maintenance. I
Yep.
didn't back it
Um,
up. in.
Yeah, I mean, we,
Oh, because of the stumps.
You're gonna have to take the stumps.
We don't have to. The road will be narrow, the same as it has been in the past. It would be nice if they're gone, but they don't have to be right now.
I can run a tool down there and get a measurement.
okay. And then I think,
We've got a wheel if you want to borrow it.
Why go?
so I think we'll add that to our agenda and
Select board.
select board. Yeah, that'll be a select board and then we'll bring a budget number back to here. I mean, we are very much ahead of schedule where we normally would be, so we've got time to work through some of these hitches. We basically got the month of April to work through how everything's gonna play on the warrant and final numbers, so
All right, so we're good with roads?
I think.
I have another question on it.
Yep.
Just a,
Yeah,
this is off of Bob's notes, so I'm not sure
Mhm.
what it actually refers to. It says off-road and then it says 25,860.
Yes. Off-road is where they plow the transfer station, the
I
library.
understand that, but the contract's 14,500, so why is it 25,860 here? And it's not with you guys, last I read.
no, it's
It's the
John Courier.
courier. So why is it 25,000 on here?
Right, because we have budgeted 14.5 and it was flat.
Because that's what the contract says.
I might have picked up payment from them last year on it. I'm not sure.
The fire department?
We'll just let them.
And I'm sure I have other questions, but I'll go back through it again, but that one stuck out. Although, actually, then it goes down to the on-road plowing is only 132, but maybe that's supposed to be a 4.
It's a 4.
Not here,
134.
132. But
It's supposed to be 4.
I think so, so. According to the contract on that one.
Oh, okay.
But if you want to plow them at 132, that's okay.
Yes, I know. One thirty.
Yeah, off-road's 14.5 and then 26.
So I have
430.
off-road plow. The expense against it is. I think this is what I want. So. Oh, you know what? There's an update budget transaction in there.
It's off of his numbers, so
Oh,
when I went
well,
through
I'm-
everything, I took them out, but
yeah, that's what I just pulled from Trio. I can, oh,
but the contract price is 14.5.
right, but that's what we've expensed.
So what's this number?
Yeah,
The
it's like
25,000.
That's those, Bob can answer that I don't know. Bob,
Yeah, look at.
He's looking for it.
okay, because I have it here. Maybe
he's got
this doesn't let me zoom in,
it's the
good.
15.4.
But basically, if you look up here, you have your debits at 29,000. And then there's a double
2,900.
2,900 and then various amounts throughout. But if you look here, there's an update budget on both ends.
I got that. I totally understand.
Right. So if you zero those out, it's 11,000.
Yeah, but on here it's 25,000. So
Well, that's on,
25.
right, and that's on Bob's.
I know, but that's
Yeah.
all we get provided. So we can come back to it, but that needs to get addressed.
Right, well, like I say, in the budget document, I have the 14.5. And the contract's 14.5. And in Trio, it's lining up to be 14.5, so I think we're okay there. I think, yeah, we're not over, we're right in line. So I think kind of getting back, I think we're good with that plan.
Oh. There's a 14,500 in there that shouldn't be 14,500. Deduct it by 14,500. You're okay.
That's why it's zero, both sides.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
No, that's fine.
Sorry about that.
So,
Good, good.
No mistakes.
so I think we're good there and we'll see you at town meeting. All right, there are public hearings if you want to attend, one next Tuesday, the 28th and May 2nd. For the budget. We're having public hearings on the basically the air questions before we actually present it at town meeting. Hopefully make town meeting be a little bit more manageable. So. All right,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
So
Okay.
these were the last numbers I had for air packs and the 8 sets turnout gear.
Oh. Sorry, I was waiting for you to say it. Now I see it. So the 8 sets of turnout gear would be roughly that 50,000, give or take. At $6,000 a set.
Yep.
And then you have 6 air packs. And that's depending if the bottles stay stable on pricing. The last I knew they were going up, but that's a good price right there in that ballpark range between $10,000 and $15,000 an air pack.
So if you want to just kind of explain for everybody kind of why we're.
Yep. So the 8 sets of turnout gear, what I budget every year is basically for 1 set of turnout gear in my budget. That covers potentially somebody new coming in or a piece of gear getting damaged. So oftentimes you might be piecemealing, somebody lost a set of boots and somebody lost a jacket or their jacket wore out. So you're buying bits and pieces to make a complete set of turnout gear. This would allow you to bring your gear basically up to everybody would have a new fit set of gear for at that point. That we have some people who are actually using either borrowed gear or old enough gear that it's borderline, but they're not interior firefighters. So we use the borderline gear for the people who are in less hazard. That's not the best practice, but it's the economic practice. As far as the air packs, the 6 new air packs, we had 4 new ones that we've purchased with the new truck. There are 6 other air packs in the department, 2 of which are of a style that is being phased out. They're no longer making. If something goes wrong with those air packs, the parts and pieces are hard to get. I just received 4 other air packs that were used, but I was able to get them at a very reasonable, almost for free. Problem with those air packs is they pass and they're functioning right now, but we're on borrowed time with those as well because parts and pieces for those are now becoming harder to get. So my ask is either part of this amount now and maybe a little bit next year, or do it all now. But basically it's to start to stage in this stuff so that we can plan enough in advance so we're not having to do it all at once when we don't have the money or time to ask. So,
Jason,
yes,
the 8 sets of turnout gear,
yes.
they have a safety rating or an expiration date?
So technically, if Maine would follow the NFPA regulations, Maine's we're an NFPA state, but they don't require us to follow all of the NFPA mandates. If we were an NFPA state, then the state of New Hampshire requires you to follow the NFPA standard down there 10 years from the date of manufacture, and the gear is no good. If it's never been worn, it doesn't matter, it's no good. Maine does not force us that hand. What they do force us is to make sure that it's in usable, safe condition. So that being said, yes, there sort of is as far as the manufacturer and NFPA is concerned, but Maine isn't forcing that, at least yet. They've talked about it, but I don't know how Maine could, some of the, even smaller departments than ours, like even Vienna, they would be crippled if the state forced that. I'm just saying that this is where it would put us back to or at the optimal. Maybe we stage this over 1 or 2 years, or we do it all, now. Now, my question is do we want to ask? I don't know what I have in capital. Do we use some of that money? Certainly, air packs could be a capital purchase.
According to this, it says 72,269 if you guys didn't spend anything this
I
past.
think the boiler was a couple years ago.
And then the rescue, and I don't know if that would be okay to do that. Rescue says it has 88,000. Would
They all
benefit
fall in
them
the
as
same
well?
budget, but I try to keep things, I mean, in an emergency, certainly we could grab from that, but I try to make sure that they have for things that they have funding for, but
And that would be, like I said, this was the 2024, so, and we don't know yet what we have in addition from this past year coming. Looks like about 16,000 maybe from you for rolling into the capital.
from this year,
Yeah,
I don't.
maybe that was the year before. Sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't suspect this year because the truck maintenance budget has overflowed into my operational budget this year, so. I don't expect there to be a lot to roll back into capital this year. And that's generally, I had on average somewhere around $3,000 to $5,000 maybe each year that I have left over, if there is anything left over. And it really depends on how the year's going with breakdowns and things. So Jason, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Out of my ignorance, how many people are certified to wear the airbags? Let me do a head count. Let's see. There's 6, if I count correctly in my head. I might be off. So we have technically more air packs than certified people currently. But in new air packs currently, if we look at that and use the number of 6, 2 would put an air pack with every certified person, if I've counted correctly, in my head.
I mean, the 4 coming with the truck plus 2.
Well, the 4 are already here, so I'm counting those 4. So you'd
Oh, I
add
see.
another 2 for a total of 6
Okay.
air packs to get
Yeah.
you up to speed. I did this year decrease the number of air packs we were maintaining. So if you put, in order to have a Class 8 pumper tanker certified for interior fire attack, you have to have 4 air packs. So that's where 8 air packs comes into play total.
Oh, you mean they stay on the truck until needed? Is that how that works? I don't directly ask people to take them home because you never know if they're at work and aren't going to go to the call, somebody else could use that air pack. So the base of that would be is that you really need a minimum of 4 per engine 51, engine 53. 52 has 2 air packs. 56 used to have 2 air packs, and this year I downsized 2 air packs to minimize the cost. It's, an average of $20,000 investment to $20,000 to $30,000 investment that I felt comfortable with removing them off of 56. 52 needs them for car fires,
But generally speaking, it's not the only truck that rolls to a car fire, so you could grab air packs off another truck. And again, these air packs aren't gonna go all overnight, but I think it's something that we need to start to plan for.
What other options do we have? Would it be under, like, say you got the 8 turnout, 8 sets of gear out of the capital improvements, that would leave you some, still leave you like 25,000, 20,000. How else could we raise money for the other
I mean,
air
that-
packs? That would be undesignated?
I think that'd be a good use case for it and to minimize that one time. I think we don't have a lot of big projects upcoming this year aside from our roadside. So I think that would be, we know we're gonna have a little bit of, there was some undesignated funds we didn't spend last year. And I think that would be a good use to do that in the ramp project here at the community center. Draw down a little bit of fire capital. Once we get the numbers on what we actually have in fire capital, maybe do that with the turnout gear. And then
That would
fund
be
the air.
preferable.
I mean, that leaves
I mean, the
25.
turnout gear, I mean, I know you need those, but that'll take care of that.
As far as that number,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. that
Is it preferable to have the turnout gear over the full air packs at the moment? And we may still be able to,
If it were me, I would probably try and split it up so that you're breaking up to fill both needs
So like
over
4,
the course of
3.
time. If you wanted, if you're asking me for the best option, that would be, even if we did 3 air packs and 4 sets of gear,
Or if we just did 52 this year and not 53,
as far as
replacing the air packs.
so that would give you 2 air packs
Right.
instead of 3 air packs.
Yep.
And again, they're not all going to go at once. At least we hope not. And potentially, if we take one out of service, they might be able to scavenge parts and build one from the leftovers, so to speak, if that makes sense too.
All right, so if you only got 2 this year, you'd have 6 new ones and a handful of good ones.
Yeah.
So
And
maybe
that's
that-
what I'm thinking is that this is an ask over, potentially over a few years, right? But I think needs a starting point someplace to make sure that the needs. My concern is that if I lose 3 or 4 of those air packs, for whatever reason, basically all it takes for those air packs to go bad is a set of AA batteries. If they leak, then the pack's no good. Because of those circuit boards.
Is this all totally separate from the budget we've already talked
Yeah.
about?
Yeah.
'Cause it's a one-time
It was
deal.
enough of an ask that when I built the budget that I said, this is something that I'm currently can function, but we need to be prepared. And so I wasn't prepared to say, hey, look, it's fair to the taxpayer I want all of this now. And this is why trying to come up with alternative concepts of what best suits the town's needs.
I
Go ahead.
I think that in terms of the turnout gear, I'm most concerned about what the firefighters need to protect themselves. So I see that as a pretty high priority. I mean, the air packs, I'm not discounting, but maybe start with 2, but.
No, and I'm fine with however we determine we'd like to break that up. I'm looking at it, the 8 sets of gear, I'd have to really do a full evaluation of every particular person's gear. There's at least probably 5 to 6 sets that like I could comfortably say today, I wouldn't, with new gear, their gear that they currently have would be like an emergency use only, like, hey, my gear's wet and being washed. And I would tell them to primarily wear the new gear.
So how many personnel do you have that actually use the turnout gear?
Oh, everybody has to use.
How many is that?
Oh, so 16.
So 6 sets would get rid of the crappy sets.
Potentially, I mean, without me doing an actual
Ish.
yeah.
So
The problem is that we all come in shapes and sizes. So when you start to buy generic, technically, if you meet the NFPA standard, it's supposed to be fit for every person. It's supposed to be tailored. That's not realistic. So when somebody comes into the department new, we look through the gear that's in reserve. Hey, this comes close. But we have some people that are floating in gear because it doesn't come close.
MMA? Any grant?
So
Don't
yeah,
get some.
MMA will, they will do safety as their priority. So oftentimes gear is a hard ask, but it's a potential. I don't know as if they do air packs. I've never tried air packs. But you could certainly try and get turnout gear. I know other towns have. But a lot of times it's based on priority. So you take a town that when they say, well, my gear is 30 years old versus this gear is 15 years old, they go, oh, sorry, that we're going to help the 30-year-old.
What about some of the incomes from like the trusts and things? Do those have any stipulations that say no? So we can't use
So the Weiss Memorial Trust doesn't, it has $400 that's usable. There has to be 10,000 left in that account.
Okay.
And that one is designed for the firefighters to use for their asks. That was a stipulation of it based on what I've been told. We're still searching for the actual paperwork on that, but my understanding is it'd be like for buying sweatshirts.
You trust, you don't have that?
She's not sure without looking at it.
Okay.
The other money that trusts that are available currently, there's a Brenny Emberly account, and that's for medical equipment only. And then there's a grant out, which is a preservation grant that Rescue has, and that's for specific ask and gear that's already been allocated.
What about like Lincoln Walton or any of the others?
No idea on those.
So Lincoln Wall goes right directly to reducing property tax.
Okay.
amendment.
There's other ones in the book though. Are you familiar with them yet, Dorcas, or not yet? Yeah. Not really firefighting.
Gilman is for the needy, so that would be GA. And then there's one for roads. What's the name of that one? Dr. something.
There's a list somewhere, but so that goes to roads.
It's for roads.
That would have been good a conversation ago.
Yeah, they
But
just-
and then so if not the trust and if not that, why can't we do it from the undesignated? I know we don't have that number yet, right? What's left, we don't have it, but it could potentially, like if they got six sets of gear out of the capital improvements for fire. And then see what's left in undesignated.
7,000. I'm gonna. I think the last quote from Fire Tech was 6,000 for turnout gear.
36,000 then, right?
I mean, I would factor 40 just to be on the safe side because
Yes.
tax.
So another question that I have is there a specific company that you go with, or have you, I mean, I'm sure you probably have looked around for different prices, but
Yeah, usually we use the company out of Winthrop Fire
right.
Tech and Safety.
Have you looked at any other companies and what their prices might be?
I haven't recently, no. So I certainly willing to do that, get the price quote on three companies.
Thank you.
Jason, this may be an inappropriate question, so
Mhm.
bear with me. But the fire company, do they, I mean, they collect money from the town.
Mhm.
And is there any commitment they make to the fire department in terms of funds that they collect?
They do, generally they try to pick things that are safety related. And So,
Like turnout gear?
last year they did fund turnout gear. They purchased, I believe, one full set of gear out of the fire company money. I can certainly ask them. That's not what they chose to do this year for safety. Ask when they put out their letter that they ask for, donations every year. It's not really up to me. It's up to
Yeah, I
that group
understand.
of people, but one of the things that they're asking for, particularly this year, is a safety device called the Guardian Angel. And it's basically a beacon that goes on the shoulder of every firefighter when they're working on the road. It depends on each year. Over the years, the amount of money being donated is less. There's
Well,
less money in
and
people's
part of
pockets.
that,
to
part
get-
of that from my perspective is because we don't know how that money is being spent.
I didn't know there was a differentiation.
So there's a rescue company, which is like an auxiliary group.
Okay.
And that group is, their whole purpose in life is to, help the fire department with needs that aren't met by the town when they can afford to do it. Over the years, the fire company has helped purchased, the UTV trailer, UTV itself. Of course, it took several years to raise that money. It's not just a overnight ask. They've even helped fund the boat, the purchase of the boat. So these things, large items that the town, the talking sign, for instance, things like that, that they've helped with, over the years. So it's a significant amount of stuff. Recently, they just, there wasn't money in the budget for somebody to have a helmet shield on their helmet. And, it's only $80 or $100, but when the budget's tight, you aren't spending it. So they literally, offered to purchase that item. Things like, the firefighter plates you see on people's vehicles.
I think
aren't
too,
in the
though,
budget dollars.
it kind of gets back to, as a town, if we're going to have a fire department, do we want to be using, fundraising money? That's, it's always historically been for above and beyond, nice to haves for that, whereas there's things that are for the core operations of the fire department. Is that something that should be on?
I just
Okay.
didn't know it was separate.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with you, Tyler. I
Yeah.
just
Yep.
I don't understand what the money collected by the fire company goes to anymore. I don't have a good feel for that.
I'm not sure, are you getting the mailer when they mail it out? So, usually
It doesn't give me any accountability over in terms of what they spent over the past year and things like that. It just has broad strokes.
The letter usually says what they're gonna spend it on.
what they spent it on and what they are thinking of spending money on. It usually covers those two areas. And sometimes it's broad because they leave a little bit of room oftentimes for, when I come to them and say, hey, look, a speed bump. Most of the time it's either safety or, the town, my general policy is like chief officers will end up purchasing these shirts for the chief officers, but it's not in the town budget to purchase for every firefighter. So the fire company picks up a lot of the dress uniforms you see, things like that are not expenses to the town, that aren't, I'm not saying they're not necessary, because I think that is part of the uniformity, but it's also an unreasonable ask when you're already struggling to make the day-to-day needs. So the fire company pays a lot for those type of things. A dress uniform is nearly $1,000.
I think
So-
also, correct me if I'm wrong, being a firefighter, volunteer firefighter, is a tough job if it's by itself. It's not connecting and social sort of solidarity. So when it's something that together, let's fundraise together, let's build solidarity, whereas if it's just showing up to fires, showing up to training. You might not have them.
That's
I think it's.
100%. And some of the things that they do to help is, you know, the town doesn't have the appetite or the budget to pay for a meal every first Thursday of the month for the fire department. And for years, we've done that. Sometimes it's a potluck and sometimes, but a good portion of the time, the material for the meal is purchased by the fire company. And a few times a year, when we have a mandatory training, the town picks up a meal for the firefighters for that night. Because oftentimes these guys are coming in fresh out of work and don't get home till 11 o'clock at night or something. But all that being said, it's those little hidden things that that the fire company is picking up along the way to make life a little bit better around the firehouse.
All right, so where are we landing on the budget?
So I think, if I'm correct, I think we're gonna say this year, 6 sets out of capital.
I think you can get two air packs too. Like 12.5 a piece.
Divide that by 12,005.
So there's
So it's
62, and according to this, there's 72,000 in there, so that'd leave you at 10,000 and possibly more depending on what happens this year.
If you want to change your air pack number too.
Oh, yep.
And I don't know that if we find out what we have in undesignated that
I mean,
there could be more, but
Yeah,
But
I mean,
now-
that's a good start. I'm happy with these results to not say, you know, 3 years down the road, I wished we'd planned, you know what I mean? And that's where I'm thinking in my mind. And it's in reality too, with the air pack bottles, they have a life expectancy of 15 years. So they have an end of life period. There's no exceptions on the bottles. So by staggering the purchase of the air packs
it doesn't
with those
really-
fresh bottles makes it a heck of a lot easier too when the end of life happens.
so we might not even need to get 2 more next year. We could wait or just
Yeah, I mean, there again, I may come to you and say, well, over the course of the year, I had to take 2 or 3 more out of service and use those for parts to build something. And I may say, hey, it's been good, and we can wait and defer
okay.
another year and offset that even further if we need to. The air packs, it was highly recommended by Fire Tech and Safety, who services the air packs, to pre-plan to come to, because of those air pack, basically getting to end of
Service life. And
so- yeah,
I think
it's
I
basically
think
generation life. It's like a
Right.
computer almost.
and I think correct me if I'm wrong, I think we're one of the last towns to switch over.
Yes.
I think Vienna is the only one left that hasn't even started switching over. So.
That's
Okay.
pretty much.
So if we're finished with that conversation, I do have a few more questions for Jason, if that's okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't here at the meeting when you
Right.
presented your original budget, so I just had a few questions about that. And I couldn't find the answers in the research that I was doing, so I figured you'd have them.
Okay.
So we have a deputy chief, is that correct, at the fire department?
Yes.
And has that always been a position or is that something new?
The deputy chief has always been a position.
Okay, and is that a stipend position?
Yes, the deputy chief is the second in charge. So
Right.
that's Ron
Yeah.
Lockwood currently. So you've always had, since Dana was chief, back in the 70s, you've had an assistant chief, which is third in charge, a deputy chief, which is second in charge, and then the chief.
Do you still have those 3
Yes,
positions?
currently have those 3, plus I have a battalion chief.
Are they all stipend?
Yes,
Okay, do you know off the top of your head, or where can I find what those stipends are?
yes.
Yeah, I
Tyler
can pull it
actually
up.
has-
Oh, you're gonna pull it up, okay.
Yeah.
So that will answer that question.
The only thing that wasn't it was in the budget previously, but it wasn't listed
Broken out.
out previously. It was the battalion chief.
Okay.
And that, they've had the battalion chief since the mid 2000s.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks for
Yeah.
that answer. So the other questions that I have, so how many, like when you get a call, how many trucks actually are required to go on a call?
Well, it certainly depends on the type of call, but you're going to need a minimum of the one pump, Class 8 pumper tanker, which will be 1,000-gallon, minimum of 1,000-gallon with ladders. So you'll need that at the very least. As far as other trucks going to the call, it really depends on the volume of water that's going to be needed. So if it's a structure fire, then you're going to want all your trucks out of the station. 52 is generally assigned to a water hole because it's a small pump. It's a smaller truck, can't transport water and can't be used for interior attack. So it's a quick attack truck. Same size pump as on the big truck.
So I'll just give you the reason that I asked that is because when I hear the sirens coming and I look out the window, there's at least 2 big trucks that go by every time and maybe 3 sometimes. And maybe within a half hour, they're going back up the other way. So obviously it wasn't that big of a fire that quickly. And so the other question that I have is how are they paid? Are they paid by the hour, by the call, or how would?
Yep. So they're paid, so paid by the, so trainings, meetings, and, truck checks are paid by the hour. And it's generally 2 to 3 hours, on average. And that's 3 to 4 Thursdays a month on average. And then,
And that's all 16 people,
if they all
Attend.
attend,
but they're,
yep.
yeah, okay,
And that's, you're not going to get all of them to
Right.
attend. It's not reasonable.
right.
And then as far as calls are concerned, we don't run a schedule, so it's whoever's available to answer the call is allowed to go to the call. We as officers triage that call to turn people around. Oftentimes, probably what you're experiencing is a situation where you have a call where it's mutual aid and it's what called canceled en route. So if, down that way in particular, could be going into Reed Field for, any number of different types of calls. Kent's Hill, false alarms at the schools when they have issues. So the towns, we as a general rule, as towns, we try to turn people back to minimize the time of equipment outside of their first due response. But also, we receive that same benefit from them when we call.
Right. So on those kinds of calls that you just described,
Mhm.
whoever goes gets paid for an hour or for?
I generally will do minimum of half-hour increments. So if they go to a call and say they're canceled en route within 15 minutes, they're going to get paid for 0.5 hours. And then, based on that, then it's in the half-hour increments.
Right,
going
okay.
forward.
I think those are the only questions I had. Thank you.
Yep.
That clarified some things for me that I didn't clearly understand, so thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Kathy, I'll just add, I see the same thing, but it's Vienna,
Yeah.
and I think it's great the mutual aid towns roll, because if they needed, they're on the way. If they're not, I see the same thing, and 10 minutes later, they're going back.
What was
But
that all
You know,
about?
I mean,
when they're
I'll-
needed, it's pretty
I know,
handy.
there was a structure fire the other day in Belgrade, and
Right,
when Belgrade called our mutual aid plus their mutual aid.
Yeah, and even still, on that call, you might have had that had towns from Smithfield, Oakland, Sydney, Belgrade, and then our complete mutual aid. And then they might have gone even into Monmouth.
I know they had Waterville
Waterville.
coming down with their specialized truck for refilling the air packs.
And I can tell you out of all those towns, there might have been 50 firefighters.
Wow.
It was
So the other thing is when that happens, is there somebody from your crew that has to stay back at the station?
No, not generally. So depending, if we see that if it's a staging, like can you stage in Belgrade?
Yeah.
Then oftentimes we might stage even here in Mount Vernon, or we're staging partway in between, depending on the weather. Obviously, we're not going to park the trucks out when it's just, 20 below zero, but we'll try and keep them close. Or if we get pulled into Belgrade, Vienna knows they're on standby for us.
or
We
like
feel the same way.
there's been times when we've been called and we'll just have one truck. So you'll send,
I've been called within the last 3 years. It was 2 a.m. in the morning. It was a 36-minute response time to the call. We were called into just before you hit KMD we were going to Oakland. And they thought they were just outside of their hydrant district. And a lot of those city trucks can't deal with the volume of water. So they called us. When I pulled in behind a Waterville truck. I don't know where they were. They sleep at the station, but but a 36-minute response time, it does happen from time to time. And they literally turned us around when we got there because they were still in the hydrant district.
Yeah.
It happens. It's not intentional,
Right, right.
but
So,
we're there to support each other. Like Waterville coming, what they did is they brought a very specialized truck to fill air packs.
so I mean, that's good that, you have that mutual aid and really support each other.
It saves a lot, right? And we've done a pretty good job in our mutual aid to make sure we diversify different types of pieces of equipment so that, Mount Vernon has compressed air foam. We were one of the first. Now all the other departments are slowly picking that up because they realize the importance of how much water you can spread out for that. But there's a lot of dynamics and
or like
Right.
we have our, we have our side by side.
Mhm.
Whereas Vienna has a forestry unit it's a little bit more bulky.
yeah.
So you had 210 calls this year. Is that correct or around about there? I think that was the number we were given.
Yeah, yes, somewhere in that, and I'd have to get a new count for you.
Right, because that was a while
we're-
ago, but
We're above at that time when I first gave that out, we were about 17% increase in call volume.
so do you have a breakout of what those calls were? Or is that something you can share?
I can.
I think it's really important that the town knows exactly what you're doing. And I think what you've just said is important.
Yeah,
And
and
I think,
last year, I don't know if it made it in because there were a couple of years where paperwork got shuffled and it didn't end up in the town report. But it's usually in both rescue and fires report in the town report. Granted, that's the year
Right.
past.
so it'd be nice, like the newsletter or something like that, just to
Yep.
get some information out to people. I think the more information you get, the more support you're gonna get.
Yeah, we talked about trying to putting, I don't like to necessarily brag about calls,
Right,
but like
yeah.
if you go through Manchester, they say, oh, we've done so many calls this year so far or whatever. Right now, I've held off putting anything on the sign that's not safety related because of the town ordinance.
Yeah.
So, once we get adjustments on that, then some things like that could go up.
Yeah, I think
Even on the billboard, but,
Yep.
with time and personnel, we could probably get out, at least a half a year newsletter, kind of 6-month newsletter.
wouldn't have to be every month, but
No.
just some information so
I just
that,
don't have the staff or the time. to
right,
do-
so that people know, when they're not waiting till town meeting to
Mhm.
get all the information.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
but thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, you're absolutely welcome.
I
Anytime.
think you guys are due for a new photo too.
I'm due for a new photo.
All,
I-
yeah,
I
the
like
whole,
the
the
old
whole
photo.
crew.
I know that was something the
Feel
fire
younger
company's been
in
trying
that
to organize is to get everybody in their class A's and pay a photographer to
Yeah.
come in and
Yeah.
get a professional headshot.
Actually, Beverly is offered to do that off for us, so we just haven't had the opportunity to get it done. She does
And then
a
if
good
I was able to pull the salaries.
Oh,
That-
yeah.
is that it?
Can you enlarge it for those of us that are?
Yeah.
blind?
Can't see it, but thank you.
Here, give me a second. I'm gonna
I
copy
couldn't-
and
no, I
paste
still
that.
can't really.
That'd be good.
Let me copy and paste this out so I don't mess this, but it's.
So if you look at that, and I'll explain it
Second.
real quickly for you. I can start while he's pulling it up larger. So what you'll see myself and the deputy chief, and then you'll see the assistant chief and the rescue director are at the same pay level. In the ladder diagram of the department, that's where rescue director and assistant chief are at the same level. Then the assistant rescue director and the assistant chief are at the same level in the department. So that gives you a feel for, I'm sorry, battalion chief and assistant rescue
Yeah.
director are at the same level of pay. So again, you could start right at the top if you
Yep.
wanted to.
Yep.
So it's $4,500 a year. I did a $500 increase across the board for officers. For myself, the deputy chief is at 3,000.
You
And
open that
22.
to us?
Yeah, I can drop it on the spreadsheet. When I send out the new spreadsheet.
Be good.
And that's built into, those aren't a separate ask, that's built into the salary. It's just broken out for the budget committee to be able to see it.
That's good. Thank you.
Assistant chief, battalion chief. And then
Cleaning staff is it's basically one person who averages about 12 and a half hours a month in cleaning.
So who's the assistant chief? You said Ron Lockwood was the deputy chief and then,
The assistant chief is Jim Frazier. And then your battalion chief is Christopher Tibbetts. Then your rescue director is Amanda Mills, done. It's now done. Assistant rescue director is Becky Kent. And then they share those duties of secretary is basically the administrative assistant. And then the training, Becky and Amanda generally share that task as well.
so that's part of their,
It's just, yeah, they break it. She asked for it to be broken out and I present it as she's asked. And then administrative assistant is there for both fire and rescue to assist with record keeping as necessary for rescue, but primarily fire, and also keeping up with the requirements for Bureau of Labor.
Possibly that person is in twice, but I'd have to go back and look because
Which one?
administrative, because I think I had asked you about that on the side and then, but I think it shows up in rescue too. But
Or rescue is different. That's what I was
Oh,
just
I thought you
explaining.
were saying
So,
that was shared, that's
so-
not that.
so the rescue assistant is basically their Amanda and Becky doing their
Okay.
administrative
I'm
paperwork.
sorry. Yeah.
So that's why you see it.
there's like rescue secretary and then.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
they list it as a secretary. It's basically their administrative assistant duties and they share that. It's whoever's available draws from that little pool of money to do a heck of a lot of paperwork for a little amount of recovery.
great. Thank you.
You're welcome. And anytime, just feel free to email me. I can do a complete answer to the entire group. So. Or Tyler, I can follow up through Tyler and he can get it all. Happy to answer questions.
There was one increase, because the maintenance line is running over so severely, instead of cutting it by 1,000, bumping it to 25. Cause there's just been another year of high maintenance, so it's putting a
Yeah,
little bit bigger cushion in there.
there was also an ask, and I did get pricing back from two companies on gear cleaning. So this group had asked about gear cleaning prices. So Fire Tech and Safety sends gear out to be cleaned. It works out to $150 per set, and it can take up to three weeks to get the gear back. I checked with a company just it popped up on Facebook, called Redline. They're out of Hudson, Massachusetts. They're willing to drive here. If you look at their website, it's pretty impressive. They have basically an onboard laundromat and repair service. They can turn around 20 sets of gear the same day and do them for $156 a piece. So works out to about $3,600, give or take.
Oh, 35,000. I'm so glad you clarified that. I was like, no way.
No, 3,500.
You wrote 35.
And
Oh, did I? So no, okay, my apologies. Where did I write that? Oh, in the email. Yeah,
You.
sometimes I'm doing that blurry eyed. You realize I'm doing my full page.
That's
job.
that is
much
also
better.
something.
Much
Just
better.
after the zero.
Okay.
Phew.
So yeah, no, $3,600. So I will try and work that in because another benefit of that, which I saw out of what they were offering is they offer also an inventory. So that offers us a third party evaluation of the turnout gear. So going forward, if we see a set and they say, well, this is borderline, now we'll have a record of that, but it also gives the Department of Labor a record that's not just our opinion of quality of that gear. So I'm glad that it was asked and I'm glad that we explored it because it is a benefit for the maintenance and upkeep. Even if we're only doing it that one time a year, the Department of Labor now requires us to log and wash gear after every call, every structure fire call. So if they're in a hazardous environment, the gear needs to be washed. So that being said, it's on the firefighter to get to Reed Field or Vienna to wash the gear. We just have holding tank here in the stations, so it's not cost effective for the town to wash them here and pump out tanks. So we have, again, our mutual aid partners just say, just come to our station. But anyways.
Jason, are there any chargebacks associated with the mutual aid?
The only charge that I see out of the mutual aid and I never question it because it's so little in the scheme of things is communications. Somewhere's, and I'd have to look it up to be sure I'm telling you the right number, but somewhere's around 800 to 1,000 sticks in my head is usually a bill that I get from the town of Reed Field, which is tower maintenance. And that allows them to maintain our license and our radio communication. Reed Field basically picks up the tab on that. If they decide to change how they do things, and they've talked about it as far as dispatch centers, we sort of kind of have to follow where they go. Otherwise, purchase the equipment ourselves. And you're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of equipment. So I would suggest working with them.
Is their tower talk to our antennas about?
It does. So our tower is a backup station to that system. And it has happened, lightning strikes and it blows up the panel in Winthrop. They actually switch over because that unit that we have is on the telephone line. It's like a big party line on copper.
Yeah.
So.
And there's been other times, I think, where they've had to route dispatch if Reed Field's tower is offline to our tower.
Yes, they'll route her through that unit. And actually the same console that's in ours, we have it listed as a command center, it technically Winthrop could come here and sit and dispatch our entire mutual aid if they had to. They now have that same redundancy in Winthrop Fire Station. So there's a few redundancies in play to help protect the dispatch features.
Tyler, you changed the turnout year to the 12,000.
Yep.
That includes the
Yeah,
3,500. Okay.
that 3,600 is in
Okay.
there. Yeah.
Ish.
Ish. Because we had already increased it a little bit to build a bit of more buffer in that emergency set line that's in there. So we're going to factor cleaning into that, and that should hopefully mitigate some gear damage by having the cleaning done.
Yeah, it'll at least give us an assessment. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was just thinking if you set up that date with the other mutual aid things, they might want the same service.
They might.
Maybe you get a a discount.
I'm surprised that they're willing to do it for that little bit of a cost to come up from Massachusetts, but look online, it's pretty impressive. They have it, they're a nationwide or at least a large company that they're all over parts of the United States. Pretty impressive units.
I think with that,
Here's some.
Okay.
you have dispatch, I know that, so I know the outstanding numbers is the transfer station budget fully and then dispatch. Cause I'm not clear on what those numbers are.
Okay, dispatch.
Yeah, and Winthrop ambulance,
Dispatch.
dispatch and Winthrop ambulance.
Winthrop is going for setting themselves up as a PSAP. Yep. I don't know how long it's gonna take, but they are trying to do that. That will set us up so that we won't have to go to Androscoggin. And Androscoggin is iffy after this year.
Okay.
Did you say Winthrop?
Winthrop Comm
Winthrop is
Center.
going for, yeah,
All right.
How much is Androscoggin going to be this year?
I already gave that to you. 7,000.
7,000?
Yep.
State police,
No figure yet.
no figure, so leave it flat at 16,249.
Yeah, we don't know. There's some thought that they might be splitting state police and sheriff.
Yeah, and then Joe Petrosky said that as well, but he
So,
didn't give.
The last I heard also, Kennebec County Sheriff's Office was talking of going to Augusta.
Right, that's what we're,
Augusta PD, Augusta Police Department for their PSAP.
so we'd have 4 dispatching bills. Fire and rescue for Winthrop, your general when you call 911, which goes through Androscoggin. And then if it gets routed to Kennebec County Sheriff's Office, Augusta PD, it goes to state police dispatch.
Yep.
And it really depends on who's on rotation
Yeah.
for that.
And theoretically, Holton could pick up a call.
Yep.
So with PSAT going with the
Did he say
Androscoggin
Holton?
price for now?
It
Yeah.
bounce.
And then we're gonna leave this, I mean,
It's great.
the way Joe explained it to me when he called me last week was, in theory, our state police dispatch bill will come down. But the actual total cost for dispatching services will remain roughly the same. Because we'll have that fourth bill.
Do we have to sign a year contract with
Yep.
Androscoggin?
We
Or
already
can we
did.
switch if Winthrop comes online?
Yeah, we already did.
They're more than likely will end up with overlap for a short time.
Yeah,
Just because of.
so it could be next year, we're looking at Winthrop for PSAP.
Androscoggin is worried that the city of Auburn is going to take over dispatch, and that would leave them, hanging.
Yeah,
So
What's PSAP? For those of us.
public safety answer.
All these acronyms and.
Yeah.
Public
like-
safety.
Yeah, I can't remember the acronym, but
It
basically it's
says
your
public safety.
public safety, it's your
the-
dispatch centers, so, yeah.
okay, so
Winthrop ambulance.
what's happening is we don't have dispatch yet. We don't have
Okay,
fixed-
so leave that flat.
But they are setting us up for capital savings because they have 4 ambulances.
Yep.
A new ambulance is $400,000. They have 1 ambulance that is going to need to be replaced in 3 years. Okay, that'll take, and they're capitalizing it at $133,000 a year until they get to that spot. Okay, so they have to come up with those figures. And then the next truck will need to be purchased in 7 years, and et cetera, et cetera. Now, a truck is good for 20 years. At that point, the body of the truck is good. The frame is no good. they have to replace the frame.
So the,
Then
so the
that-
motor, the cab and the engine.
that's about, it's a little under 200,000. That means the truck would be good for another 20 years. So they're going with that type of theory with these 4 trucks. So now what they have to do is they have to come up with a price to pay for all of this, for all 7 towns. And we're coming in at 8%. We've got to pay for 8% of the cost. Winthrop's going to pay for 38%. Right now, it looks like we're going to have to come up with 28,000.
In addition to, because they
Yes.
are, isn't their base rate going up as well?
Yeah.
Wait, is that a one-time charge
No,
or yearly?
yeah,
That's their assessment for their equipment
yep.
Yeah.
expenses.
So the bill from Winthrop Ambulance is gonna go up a lot. They're just telling us why.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, that doesn't include their facilities. They have a building. That will be brought up next week.
So you're
So
gonna build a new place?
So
No.
it's not a bad place. It just looks kind of.
Wait,
it needs updating
So
for
they're
them.
gonna move
But
it to
they actually sleep there, do
do they
because
still have a ambulance in Reedfield?
no,
they do not. So that was what I wanted to bring to this group's attention, and Bob knows the heartaches that we experience. So there are a lot of times, especially now that they don't house an ambulance in Reedfield any longer, that we're waiting extended periods of time, and oftentimes they still can't respond to the call, and we're waiting for North Star, and sometimes we're waiting over a half hour or 40 minutes for an ambulance to respond. So, I mean, I think we're getting a service from them, but the cost has gone up and the level of service is going down. And so that's where I think we have to have a hard discussion with Winthrop and say, look, if we're going to continue to help fund your equipment, we're already paying you per call. They're just saying now this is your breakout per call. And and I presume that they did that based on the call percentage coming out of town.
Yep.
Now, what they're starting to do is even if they are turned back, they'll bill the town for the call and not the patient's insurance, because the patient doesn't ride the ambulance. So the town picks up that tab.
Yes.
I don't want to say that they're double dipping, but I want to say that the cost for level of service is changed.
So what about
I'd
North Star?
also add that if they transport somebody in the town of Mount Vernon and their insurance doesn't pay, the town of Mount Vernon
We
is
have
on the
to pay.
hook.
Yeah.
Now,
And
there's a law though, right on the books right now. If it passes, will allow Mount Vernon to bill the state for that cost. Okay.
What about North Star?
It's not a law yet.
They don't have the money.
that's if they basically,
If they have it, if they ride the ambulance, then their insurance will pick it up.
If they don't have.
if they don't have insurance and they don't pay,
Why doesn't it automatically go to the person?
I'd have to read their,
That's the way the law
Might
reads.
not be paid for. I don't think people are-
I don't know, because that was literally the first vote I took on the select board, so I didn't get a chance to digest that contract before we had to vote on it.
I
Well-
think it's probably easier. Here's the solution. That's fine. Maybe nothing to do about it. But if it's gonna build a town, we're gonna get the money.
Well, don't forget,
I'm gonna pay.
an ambulance rolls for every rescue
Like you
call.
bill the individual. It's a
Well, this
fuss.
is for the non,
It's difficult.
For the what?
for the ones that don't get it.
No, but I'm just saying an ambulance rolls no matter what. If an ambulance shows up for me and I don't want to get in it,
Thing.
I'm like.
Right, I think that's,
No,
the
you're right.
cancellation is different from the, you rode and you didn't
Right.
take the service.
Yeah.
I think this, I mean, the canceling the way rescue is structured, we have to roll an ambulance every time.
You roll rescue every time. That's state law.
Right.
And once
two
rescue
different
gets
things.
there, they can make an assessment. Either the patient says, look, I'm not going to take the ambulance. I don't want to. There's some questions sometimes why they may have been called. Maybe they were just nervous. Didn't realize that it was as minor as it was. For whatever purpose or reason, they decide they're not going to go. I'm going to go personal vehicle. I realize this is going to cost me a lot of money. I don't have it. Now Winthrop is taking the hit on that. And in fairness, they need to recoup their costs, but we're already paying per capita per call.
What does an ambulance ride cost?
What's that?
How much does it cost?
I can tell you that if you go, it's,
5,000?
yeah, I was gonna say, it,
I'm conscious.
it's about $1,000 a mile, you know, by the time you figure it out. It's silly, frankly. A few years back, somebody had to take a ride and they literally were in the Waterville area. Literally went no more than a mile to the hospital and it was 1,300.
No, because they just started it last year.
Right.
No. No, yeah, I understand. But sometimes people choose not to.
If that bill goes in, I'd like to see it. If it has to come into you. We'd like to know how much we're paying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it may not be that many. I'm trying to think off the top of my head, but I could say that, you know, just at a quick guess that there's at least 1 or 2 calls every couple, month or so that don't ride the ambulance, you know.
Did you say when rescue's called, an ambulance automatically has to roll? Is that what, did I understand that correctly?
That is correct.
Okay.
So,
Time is important. If it's a heart attack.
Oh, yeah, I know that.
so they're only licensed to a certain level, so
Right.
that's where this,
Right.
they have to have the backup.
So, what about North Star? Are they ever considered as an alternative or?
They are the alternative.
No, I mean, as far as contract.
As far as contract, yeah, they struggle as well, though, to get
Yeah.
out to us at a.
Right.
Well, they're out of
I
Waterville.
think
right?
part of it too
They're
is
Farmington.
Farmington. I think they have one in Waterville as well, but
Uh,
yeah.
Yeah.
I think too, I think it gets back to a part, I think I don't, in my opinion, in looking at like the news and the general trend, I don't think, I mean, yeah, do I think Winthrop is putting the screws to the towns? Yeah, probably. But I think you're gonna get a similar contract from Waterville. I think Delta.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
Delta's been
Oh,
explored.
Delta, that's what I was thinking.
And I know Bob has talked to the Reedfield town manager significantly about this. Reedfield has explored other alternatives, including Waterville, including Delta, including North Star. And frankly, at this point, they haven't budged off the contract that's there.
I think the only one in the area that's budged is Belgrade, and they built their own. They're building their own ambulance service.
That would be our best chance would be to put an ambulance, one of these 4 ambulances in Reedfield.
Mhm.
But I don't see it happening until we get that new in 3 years.
Yeah, I agree with that. Reedfield is set up when they built their new station. They're set up for sleeping quarters. They have kitchen, they have showers. So they're set up for it. And there was talk at one point in time of even Camp Laurel because he wants that ambulance as close as he can get it. He was even talking about trying to build a rescue for an ambulance, basically housing right there at camp. So there's not to say that if Reedfield can't do it, maybe you could invest with Camp Laurel in that capacity.
So do we know what their base increase is gonna be on the service side? Cause you had told me like 64,000 in the past. Okay.
I
Next
question
Tuesday.
that. According to this, last year we only spent, I say only, but 17,435, but I keep seeing around like a 32,000 number. So how would we, unless it was miscategorized, be that low?
Ambulance.
It says ambulance rescue and 17,435.
that number.
I think it was from, the year-end numbers for the audit.
Yeah, I
I'm
can,
going
I see. But I could check this year's disbursements to Winthrop. So this year, we've already paid Winthrop ambulance for the first half of the year, 23,000. And that
What do you mean by first half of the year? Our fiscal or?
first half of our fiscal year.
Okay, so
Should-
we're into like month 8 right now.
Yeah. And I think they must bill twice a year, Winthrop. 'Cause they've only got one bill from them.
I would assume
Well,
quarterly.
325, so it must be.
That should be.
Most companies like to bill quarterly, so I'm surprised if that's the half year.
That's the only one that we
But-
have.
That's it. We only have the one ambulance service.
So
Anything else we get is mutual aid. To
Or
Winthrop.
with you. Yeah, okay, yeah, we raised 46, so
Mhm.
that must be half.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
56, and we've spent 23,078.
Yeah.
So.
so it's 2 times a year bill.
Yeah. So, and that's where I kind of say, because last year it was like a 20-30% increase. And the rumor mill that I had heard going around was it was going to be the same again. But, so I had factored in a 40, and then we can work down from 40.
Find out next Tuesday.
Okay.
You factored in
40.
40,000 or 40%?
40%,
Oh, okay.
an $18,000
40%
increase.
increase.
Okay.
Yeah. And now that capital, you said that was a $24,000 capital ask roughly? 28? Okay.
That was from what?
That was they want to push their capital expenses.
Who's they?
Winthrop ambulance.
Winthrop ambulance is pushing.
For that, sorry.
Yeah, yeah. So we're gonna do some a little bit extra creative. Plus. And you said they're also doing their building capital?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna do some nice creative now. Let's assume. Let's just. Oh, come on. Thank you, Excel for Aaron. And that's gonna be in addition to their regular yearly contract fee. We'll go 1.25. We'll be a little bit nicer and assume 1.25
So we can buy our own in 2 years.
plus
Trying to get all the money.
plus 28,000.
It's tough to justify paying for their municipal building. And their equipment. In my mind, it's a huge ask. If he wanted to come, I appreciate the idea that they've broken out the budget so that you can see it. But it almost wouldn't hurt as much if they just said, this is the cost of running the ambulance.
Right. If that capital should be in their budget and then they come back to me and say, this is the total cost, not
Yeah.
this is for capital.
They
It's,
could get a bond.
I get what they're trying to do. They're trying to be transparent with their ask, but at the same time, it feels like they're double asking. In my brain, it's we're not asking our mutual aid partners to help pay for our expenses to operate our fire department the way we want it, or our rescue. And sort of what they're doing is they're spreading that cost around. Granted, they're a for-profit ambulance service, but they're spreading that cost amongst. And it, granted, it was what Winthrop was paying 38%. You said of that total budget, which they should be. It's their municipal, and I'm not sure how their formula came up to.
So
We're at 7. Is that just because there's 7 communities that they service? Okay, so they just did it by, they said, well, this is going to be our share of it, and then we're divvying up the rest of its, or is it by call volume?
that was my call.
How transparent are they? Do they have a target profit requirement?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
I said, how transparent are they? Do they share their profit margin?
No, not that I'm aware of.
Well. Usage, that's what they're sharing.
Aren't they municipal owned?
They are.
So technically they're not a profit
No,
entity.
no.
You might want to have an audit of their operating expenses or whatever, but that should be public record to some degree in the Winthrop audit.
I would just be interested, I guess, to see is it based on, okay, Mount Vernon does get a fair amount of calls with our rescue in particular. But I gotta believe that Monmouth, for instance, has been equal a number of calls,
20%.
20%. So Monmouth is paying 20%. So they did some sort of a formula there to base on how often you're utilizing the service. So
Yeah.
it's probably as fair of an ask. They're being transparent in how they're asking for their entire budget.
I mean, like you said, Delta, Northeast, it's not an easy business. So
No. And billing it out is just exactly what Carl said.
staffing's a nightmare.
It's just the idea that that they're having to build that out, and some people aren't going to pay it, and just as you basically had said, so it's they get stuck with a lot of, I'm sure, unpaid bills.
Is it something we can say no to? I mean, to their point, if you don't ask, you get nothing, but you feel like, and it seems like they're double dipping
Well,
ish.
I mean, if they're doing it, it sounds like they're doing it equitable based on the numbers that he's saying, like Monmouth is paying 20% of
Mhm.
that. We're paying 7 or 8% of that. It's probably based on the number of people in town, how they're figuring it. It's probably by population base.
Yeah, if they weren't, I'm sure retail, Eric is he checks those out pretty.
Yeah, and they're right now, they're butting heads. It's high negotiations most of the time between Reedfield and Winthrop.
I'd guess that it's more fair than the school funding formula.
Yeah.
Let's not talk about that tonight.
Yeah, but I think you might be onto something there.
So I have a question.
Got you. Thank you.
My biggest concern with the service currently is that they're asking more and more they're not staffing the ambulance, the fourth ambulance, but they're calling in. So if you have another call back to back, they're relying on somebody to answer the call. And if nobody answers their call, then they go to, depending on the location, we might get Augusta, Delta, or North Star.
So
Generally speaking.
the question I want to ask is there a way for us to negotiate better response times? More aligned with what you might need?
I think that comes with what their proposal is to bring another ambulance back to the area. Now, the real question is will they staff it there? Because in the past, they wouldn't guarantee that the ambulance would be there certain times of the week because they didn't want to pay staff. If your call volume's down, they basically didn't want to staff the ambulance. I'm not, that's like saying, well, Saturdays once a month, fire department won't respond. I don't agree with that
Yeah,
process.
I talked with both Mark there and I talked with Eric. And what we should do is get together, 3 towns, and talk with Winthrop and say, listen, how much would it cost to put someone in an ambulance in Reedfield? And let us split that cost
Mhm.
and pay it.
It would definitely be beneficial to the response time. When you have people waiting, when they're having a medical event and they're waiting 45 minutes for an ambulance, that's a long time. Rescue can be standing there with a patient going, we've stabilized as much as we can. And now we just need them to get to the hospital. And you're literally standing there waiting. That's not a good feeling, right?
So
Would that,
yeah, Sorry, go ahead.
It, with that proposal, does that cut out the 40,000 plus, like, just make them go away? That, how does that change it?
No, I think what it is it'll be built into the service fee. And then there will just be additional fees
It would
on
be an
top.
additional fee.
And the stipulation should be that they can't rip it away if we're paying for it.
Right.
Right.
I mean, we're
Because
gonna
right now
pay,
they'll rip it away for
Yeah.
transports, because that's where they make their money, right? So with that fourth ambulance, when they're looking for it, it's because they're off running to Portland because they know they can make cash, they're making good
Yeah,
money.
so technically, even if we get that ambulance in Reed Field staffed, if three, and it could happen, 3 trucks would be out in Winthrop, another call comes out, and that one's gonna go.
To Winthrop,
Yeah,
yeah,
so,
but it shouldn't be doing scheduled or transports in my mind, that
right.
things that could wait.
Right.
If you're paying for that service to be at the ready.
I guess I'm looking for the extra fee. So you got your 40 something thousand, or with the 40% plus the 28, and then we would 3-way split a staff. Is that
Yeah,
what you're looking at?
See how much it costs.
And why can't that happen this year?
Before budget, there's no chance of it.
No.
No. Well, I say,
Reed Field.
now on the budget.
Yeah.
No, it'll take, that process will take, and plus they don't have the ambulance at this point. We need to wait for that other ambulance for them to be able to even do it.
So something for next year.
I think it's more, I would probably say a 3 to 4 year.
Say that
Because
again?
it takes us, because they need to buy an ambulance, Winthrop does, so, and I don't think they're planning to buy that for what, 3 years?
Yeah.
So it'd be at least 3 years before it could even be a possibility.
Just for that. Waiting. Are they in Belgrade Lakes or Belgrade?
Belgrade's gonna put a, an ambulance in.
In the new station, I think. Unless it's going in the lakes, but I would think it would go probably in the new station, I'm guessing.
Well, you'd have to get Vienna to go along too, same rescue department.
Well, not necessarily, because their services right now come out of North Star as it is. They don't use Winthrop ambulance.
No.
Yeah. Okay.
They come right out.
It's whoever their town contractor with. They may want to jump on board with us to get better response times.
And you said a new truck is 200,000?
400.
Oh, 400.
400 for an ambulance on average.
I think
That's
we should,
actually inexpensive.
I think in a 3-year plan, you should look at the 400,000. Us owning it with Vienna or us owning it with somebody, because you're laying all
Well,
that
it's not
money out.
just owning the box, we'd have to have all of our rescue staff get the next level of certification.
Well, I mean,
Well, that
it's a
person you're gonna
24-hour
pay for
staff
that job.
Operation.
Yeah.
It's not just a vehicle.
It's just something to think about. I mean, you're laying out a lot of money.
I don't disagree, but there's a lot of,
It'll take time.
We're not solving it tonight.
No.
I mean, you're laying out a ton of money and people are not happy waiting 45 minutes while their heart attack's going on. So
Right.
that's our job.
And it's nothing to say, down the road, you look at Belgrade, how they've started to grow. Or other towns that have done the same, Oakland. They all have some full-time staff. Those have started full-time staff. And what you do is you ask for dual certification. You have somebody who's fire and rescue. So if there's a fire call that goes out, they answer the call, they move the fire equipment, and then the other volunteers respond. Same thing would happen with a rescue call. And then the other benefit is that you take some of the burden off of the volunteers to get the monthly work done, like the truck checks and things like that. During the day, they don't have to necessarily be idle, but they could be doing a lot of the mandated work and alleviate some of that expense. So again, it's a thought down the road, whether you might start with, when I retire, a full-time fire chief. You might, and I say retire, meaning retire me out of fire chief at that point. You bring in somebody who's full-time chief. You might even at that point then say, I want a full-time chief and one firefighter. there's a bunch of different ways you can do it, but Belgrade basically is running with some dual certified staff. And Farmington's doing that in other communities.
Whoever's chair next after the budget session. Or over the budget. I think we should create a working group to explore.
Yeah, I think I should totally
Create a
agree.
Working group, think about the options. Potentially team up, I don't know, with Diana, Greenfield, Mount Vernon, there's a chunk there, and the Belgrade piece, big issue. Sort of a mix of select board members and community folks that are.
Yeah.
People caring for.
Something to think about.
Yeah.
I mean, it's worth a math analyzation for sure and people's lives.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep, and the town's only growing, so
Slowly,
point.
slowly.
I have two more.
7%.
Liability and workers' comp insurance. Is that through MMA?
Yes.
Okay, I can give them a call tomorrow.
Yep.
I didn't know where that number came from. I can give them a call tomorrow.
The 24,000.
Oh, that's an ad.
That's the regular insurance. We
Yeah.
just got that.
How much is that?
Is that what one's 33,000 for 4?
Yep, that's workers' comp and then there's liability.
Liability is what I just said.
One of them is light too.
Yeah, I was like,
One of those, I don't have it. One of those two insurances didn't match up either. One of those seemed over, I think it was workman's comp seemed over budgeted. What?
Well, if your workers' comp insurance tends to go up when you use it. And a certain individual on the fire department used workers' comp twice this year.
Would his initials be TD?
Yeah.
So, all right. But there was a big discrepancy in that, so
Yeah.
get your new suit, put your air on.
Well, it doesn't help when my knee explodes.
Yeah,
We've wrapped him in bubble wrap several times.
Good idea.
While we're on it, I'm working on the presentation for.
Are we gonna talk anything about transfer station?
Oh, yeah, I probably should. While we're getting those two numbers, transfer station, where's that health and safety? So I'm gonna do some math on the hours. We didn't get the hours math, but if we look at what we've spent in payroll this year, you can get it? Okay. Yep. Right. No, I don't think right because my concern wasn't so much with her hours being up and above, but like just mental math. The transfer station is open roughly like 500 hours a year, and we're budgeting like 3,000 hours of staff time. So
well, 500 times 3 is
1,500.
We're still probably 1,000 to 1,500 hours over.
Like half of what?
So 20 plus, what'd you say? Megan, 36? 20 hours.
Wait, is that a separate timesheet from her other town job?
Yes.
Okay.
Times 52. That's 29. No, wait, no, that's bi-weekly. That's bi-weekly. Divide that by two.
Yeah, so still 1,500.
All right. Yeah.
Brandon,
Because if you look at what we've expensed, we haven't even used half the budget. Yeah,
Well, there's clearly a lot of off hours work. I mean, the put and take shed, I mean, that takes a lot of
right,
work.
but what I'm saying is that we know what we're operating at this year, which is fairly standard,
Mhm.
and we haven't even used half of the 63,000. So I'm saying we don't need to budget up that high if you look at because that's why I was gonna pull the
Oh,
the
are
numbers
you
for
saying we've over budgeted on
payroll.
payroll?
On
Yes.
Many things. Yeah.
Okay, I mean, it is what it is, so.
Right. So what I'm saying is I'm not asking to cut it to the bone. I'm saying we could bring it down and either use that money elsewhere in the transfer station. I would propose building a transfer station capital fund.
That's got 80,000 in it already. 84,000.
Right. But I'm saying you can dedicate that we're going to start putting a little bit of money into transfer station capital for putting gravel down, and building up the gravel base.
They're looking to add a head at least for filling in, but Bob, you were talking about that.
Yeah, it would have been too much. It was gonna be over 75,000. Just seemed too much money.
I see.
This is for what?
Taking the bin that's up above, putting it down.
No, I'm sorry, add another person
Person.
to the budget.
So that people can swap out and have day
Yeah.
off.
We were gonna talk about that Thursday, I think, because you couldn't go when I
Okay.
was going.
Would that add another one?
Add another
person.
employee to the transfer station.
Yeah.
A part-time.
So is that still?
Yeah.
It should fit in that well with
Wait, was that last Thursday or this Thursday?
this coming Thursday.
Oh, okay, so the transfer station committee's gonna,
Me and Tyler has a fire thing, so I said I would.
okay.
Right. So if we pull that, I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't want it that way.
Tyler, while you've got that up, I just have a question. It
Yep.
may be just something that I don't understand. What's the difference between payroll check and transfer station salary? It's on EO 2020101,
Same thing.
but it's listed 2 different times with 2 different amounts of money.
And Leo never gets a check.
So payroll check and it has their names, and then down here it has transfer station salary, which is a different number than the payroll check.
Yeah.
Yep. 02020101, is that what
Yep, that's-
you're,
Salaries.
yeah, that was just that one account had both of
Had
those.
two different
It
labels for the
had payroll
transaction.
check and transfer station salary as 2 different lines.
Yeah.
I don't know,
Yeah.
is this coming from Trio right here? What you
Yeah, I'm
sent
looking at the
us?
same thing. Up here,
Yeah, there it is, yeah.
So I think,
That's activity.
yeah,
You're showing activity and, of course, this is just a summary of what the account balances. So that would be the activity in that account 020201. That's the detail of the balance.
Right, but I still don't understand why there's payroll check to all of the people that work there. And then down below, it's the salary. I don't understand that. I don't understand.
all right.
it.
Description of posting a transaction. Is that what you're talking about, those descriptions?
right.
Yeah,
That's just an accounting journal entry with a
Did I
description.
just lose internet?
but they should be similar or the same.
It's a manual process.
Okay, so
Now,
you're getting
I
there.
have a payroll template now.
Okay.
Have a payroll template for a journal entry. So starting.
Trainings,
I began using that. So that's just different people we had. Carrie maybe did the first payroll of the year, then Kelly did it. And then I've been doing it. I have standardized the template with the same description every time.
So all of those numbers in that column add up to almost 30,000.
Right.
They will net, you've got debits and credits, so that nets to a debit of 28,000 through. I haven't posted the
Is
payroll
that-
that's this week yet.
Yeah, no credits yet. And what we have, no credits yet.
There we
No,
go.
no credits. Okay, I still don't understand why it's there twice, but anyway. I don't understand Trio.
What's there twice?
The payroll check, this is the check amount, and then down below, it's the salary. So-
It's just a different way of describing the same transaction. Different people posted.
Right, I understand that, but I still, I mean, I haven't added up this whole column, but there, it's added in there 2 different times.
2 different dates.
We've had, this
Check.
point, had payrolls every 2 weeks since, for the year.
Could be multiple people.
It's just how accounting is done.
This is
Yeah.
pink and this is salmon, but we both entered the data in there. We
So
didn't
there-
agree how we
those
were
are the
doing it.
accounts.
But this, then it's being added twice.
Did you go? Different dates.
If you, are.
So, okay, all right,
No.
I got it.
January 1st.
Yeah, so,
Wait a minute.
sorry, Trio crashed on my computer, so I'm,
Okay, I think I've got it. Dorcas, I think I got it. Thank you.
I'll leave it right on there.
yeah, I'm pulling it up.
Oops, there you go.
Right.
The debit, that accounting, term.
Yep.
All transactions, so, you can see, the whole thing for, here's the descriptions, that's the posting adjustments. And then now this looks like my more standard description, now that I have a template and I pull out the same template, you know, so I have to punch it.
So you're just calling it something different, basically, is that, is, right,
Yeah.
right.
Wait, you stay right there, Dorcas,
Yeah.
for a second. And I don't know if sorry, I don't know if you can scroll down on that, if you'll see the monthly summary too.
I
or you
think I'm in the
can't see
wrong
that.
spot for the month
So-
of summer.
Yeah, this took me a while after. So even though stuff was like entered, say you got a whole stack of payroll stuff and you sat down on Tuesday and put it all in, but it shows up in the monthly summary in the actual month that payroll occurred. So that it took me a while to figure that out.
But Tyler's.
It doesn't, yeah, it doesn't show up in the top
Well,
part, but
we're
in the
using this
monthly.
to figure out what we need to fund payroll at.
Yeah, so it's 29,000 total.
Right, so
far.
I think getting back to that, or it's 28, net is 28,202.
So, yep, that's,
That, right.
not
that's-
that screen, but the one with the detail, yeah.
So you got behind or whatever, or you sat down and you put in all these entries on December 6th, but they break down and show here what they actually was.
Yep, but that's the summary by month, and I did, yeah. So you can see.
What are we looking to?
So, well, I guess what I'm trying to get at is,
Yep.
we know
So you want
roughly,
to there.
if we take the
This is yours, right?
average per month. Right, I take the 28,
3,000 a month.
3,000 a month. We have March, April, May, and June left. That's $12,000.
Yep.
So I'm proposing to reduce that line to 50,000.
60 from 63?
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, if you don't think we're gonna go over, why not?
right. That's what I was trying to get at the last meeting too, is that we could safely come down on that number and we don't have to raise as much.
Sounds good. That's 3,000.
50,000.
He went from 63 to
Yeah,
70.
so where?
No, 63 to
Yeah,
50.
50, that's what I thought he said.
50.
So $13,000 in savings.
13, okay.
That's good.
And then,
Worst case, you do a special town meeting next May.
Nothing wrong with that.
Uh,
I will all,
okay.
Yes.
let's wait.
all right, so we got that done.
And because we don't have a proposal to increase the hours at this point.
No.
But we're gonna ask their opinion on Thursday because they were not invited to the meeting to talk about their experience at.
Well, we
The
have
transfer
survey.
station. Well, that
It's
too.
the survey.
It is a survey, but I mean, they work there. I'm sure they hear blah, 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 blah. It'd be nice to have some opinion from
And
them.
then on the miscellaneous one, we knew there was some in there that,
Wait, go back up because you got wages and FICA. We didn't add in main PFL.
oh, yeah. Give me a second.
Benefits.
Give me a second. Equals that times
Miscellaneous on-
0.0815.
So you're gonna combine them there? FICA and.
No, I keep them separate so that way there I can calculate the FICA.
0.0765.
No, but you gotta add main PFMLA.
That's why I just asked if you're combining them. or
Yes, I'm
separating them.
combining PM, yeah,
Okay,
yes, sorry.
Are you on transfer station?
Yeah.
yeah, and
On
then,
what?
FICA,
Oh, FICA.
yeah. 0.0815, right?
yeah,
Now,
which,
because you've got 6.25 for social. 8.
This here, page one.
Transfers. I took all that, put that back in here.
1.
I'm trying to find FICA.
Hopefully. In there, I took-
I thought I saw it.
6.25 plus, what's
What did I see?
Like that's 6.2%, Medicare one.
Guess I didn't see that.
And the main tax. 5%.
8.815. 8.15%.
All right, and then are there any benefits?
Retirement, but I have that factored on the master line.
Yeah, but that doesn't help this, does it?
It's 4% of payroll. The
Okay.
4% match.
So 4% times 50,000 is 2,000, right?
It's part of the benefits package that we approved. We're select board is voting to change it going forward. Yeah. To make it easier to manage, it's gonna be part-time employees can do a 4% retirement match. And then we're gonna do a defined contribution for health insurance for full-time employees plus the
When did that get approved?
so
Weeks ago.
we basically voted to do it. And then we have to, there's some rigmarole to actually offer the insurance. We have to vote to join the health trust. That's what we're doing at special town meeting.
Yeah.
Because there's a 60-day waiting period after that vote and
I remember.
I had a
Yeah.
very long call with MMA today and it's like a 2-day window to do it.
The town belonged to.
We basically vote on Saturday and then we sign all the documents on Monday and we can offer it before July 1.
This coming year.
That's correct.
Rescinding what? Sorry?
Oh,
Yeah, 3.27 per hour, which I
Right.
haven't seen on stuff.
Right, because we didn't, so the intention was that we were going to be able to offer health insurance and all of that. MMA came back to us and said we couldn't. Basically, we approved the benefit without,
Yeah, you
We did.
promised it to the employees.
You do, the money is there.
and I think that's more a decision that we have to do on how we're gonna pay that out.
Well, not pay it out per se, but rather they can put it into a retirement.
I think that would probably be the best.
I think you
I
should
know,
look into that.
well, I mean, on a side, I think it was more that there was a rush to approve benefits without everything set in stone before we.
I know, but we voted on it in a warrant and we owe it to people.
I don't disagree, and that's
I don't know how to do it, but it needs to get
yeah,
done.
I don't disagree. So back to the transfer station, there was questions around there was that $18,000 line.
I found it. It was 6,000 for brush and 12,000 for a new container with a concrete base, and I don't know if that happened.
No.
Okay. So that money was,
Oh, so that miss one can go back to 6. I mean, what did we just shred the brush at?
What happened?
what was the brush?
how much did we pay for brush to get shredded?
1,000.
And is it done?
They're still doing it.
Yep.
Did
I
they
think they're all
finish?
done.
They finish?
So then we can put that announcement back on and say, hey,
Yeah.
we can get
It's back open.
back
did
open,
much
because
job.
every year's gonna have a yard full.
Really?
$1,000? So we don't need a $6,000 budget then,
Well,
do we?
That's the
Are we
thing.
accepting brush again, starting this weekend?
Yeah.
It needs,
Okay.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
I will blast it out then.
I mean, I'm not on the transfer committee, but just saying.
If you can do the website, I'll do social media.
That's cheap. Yeah, I mean, my concern, of course, was that the fire was
higher than we normally like to have, which I would like to see it done more than like twice a year rather than, yeah,
Didn't
try.
didn't the EPA say there was a way we could build it where we, instead of having it shredded, we could burn it? We could build, it'd be some investment we'd have to make up the transfer station, but there's a way you could burn the brush.
We can't
instead.
burn it.
No, they said you could do it. You just had to have fire breaks and investment.
But for $1,000, that's not so bad. And did they do anything with
They
the
normally
shredding?
don't even charge us. The only reason they charged us this time is because they had to move some equipment that they normally don't have to move.
Who's they? Cause I didn't see it.
The outfit that chipped it up,
Who is that?
I have no idea.
The same outfit, they're out of Durham,
Yeah.
Maine,
Yeah, they were,
Maine something.
Maine, Log Cabin.
It's got the word Maine in it, they're from Durham.
Yeah,
Google it.
we lucked out because they were over in Belgrade,
Ah,
so.
So they need they need a line item, I guess is where I'm going, cause that doesn't exist.
Hasn't been paid yet.
Well, but it's gonna keep happening every year.
See, yeah, it hasn't even been sent yet, so.
It needs a line item.
It,
Brush. Instead of miscellaneous one previously was brush and a new container. So brush.
Maine Custom Woodlands,
yes,
that's the name of the company.
So we have the transfer station.
I said some brush in here.
We have the utilities.
It's not a utility.
No, I'm trying to make sure that we have everything on.
There's a few things I got to add after.
So waste disposal, other utilities, propane, electricity.
yeah, I would put it with waste disposal because that's what it is.
But did they take the shreddings away or
Yes.
did they leave them there?
No, they took it all
They
away.
took it away.
Yep.
Okay. So
And
they,
that gives us points towards recycling. That goes
With
towards
who?
recycling. They will tell us how many tons of material they take away, and that goes towards our recycling formula.
I have
So it's the
no idea
revenue
what
that
that
we
means.
get back from them.
What that means is every
Right.
year we have to make a report to the state on how much waste we send, how many tons, and we have to tell them how much recycling tons we send. So in the shack that we give away stuff, we estimate how many tons of stuff that goes in and out of that, how much clothing goes into that white bin, we guess that. Metal, we make money on the metal, but we have to say how many tons of that. The paint program, we will make no money on it, but we will get recycling money, credits. We get credits for the electronics that goes into that white trailer.
What does the credit do for us?
These credits go to it. In the state of Maine, we're supposed to be recycling half of what we waste. So if you waste 100 tons, you're supposed to recycle 50. No one does that.
I do.
I think
but
we're
what do we
about
get out of it?
20 maybe. Anyway, the state's trying to make us do more.
But what do we
But
get out of it?
tires, all that stuff, we get to put as credits.
For what does that benefit us by reporting this stuff?
She's asking what the credits.
So we've got 8,880.65 credits. Is that money that we get?
No,
So it's credits for what?
Oh,
Oh,
that's a
no.
monetary credit, but that's.
no.
Right,
that's
that's
not
not,
that.
okay.
Credits.
So what are the credits? What do we
What
get?
we're gonna say is,
We're getting a participation trophy. That's what you're telling me. That's stupid.
yeah,
So what are all these other
we're
credits?
just appeasing the state.
Does it cost us money to do appeasing the state and get trophy?
Because I do it for nothing.
Doesn't.
Who's gonna take your place when you're,
Yeah.
when you retire?
Where's your $13,000 back into the salary line?
So.
We have to do a lot.
So to who?
You
Department
name
of
it.
Environmental
You name it.
Protection.
It's a report goes in.
The state basically tell you that they don't have to give you any money for grants or anything if you
Yeah.
don't participate in these
Yeah,
programs.
Right.
So your trophy is being able to apply with everybody else for money that may be available.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect, please. Perfect.
So in terms of operating, you said that there's a possibility that the waste contract can increase year to year.
3%.
We have the contract, we have the numbers. It's per dumpster. It's like 310 to haul it and it's like $64 a ton with a 4-ton minimum.
Yep.
Yeah, the
We have
contract-
it, we have 5 years written out for some reason.
Yeah, and it has the escalation in the contract
Yeah.
for each year.
They don't hold us to that 4 ton. They can though, but they don't hold us to it.
Do we have numbers on that?
What's that?
Do we have numbers on that?
Yes. Oh, I was supposed to get you that.
Yes.
So they don't hold us to what?
The 4-ton minimum.
4 tons minimum.
So we don't need to bother smashing things
It
down.
hurts us.
Right.
You know, if
Well,
we-
no, it's not that we don't have to bother.
Right, when we're sending light containers,
We
Right.
do. We
That-
don't have any choice.
We want to fill those. dumpsters.
yeah, we want them.
Yeah.
I know we want them
So-
filled, but you don't need to.
So
smash them.
this year
Well, you know,
under,
if we haul 2 tons or if we haul 6 tons, the hauling cost is the
It's
same.
But how do you
So
know
you
we don't
want
have a
tons of
scale?
that thing.
We don't have a
Just-
scale, so we
Well,
don't
they
know.
weigh it when they get it to
That-
their.
I understand that, but we can't guesstimate and be like,
No,
oh, it's a
but
3
yeah,
ton.
they
that's a
can
problem.
guesstimate.
This is
If it's
when
full
you
of
get to
couches, they know.
Sunday and that bin is pretty full, you got to get rid of it because you can't go through the next weekend,
Right,
right?
yeah.
So
What's
it
your
might
plan?
only have 2 tons in it.
That's what I'm saying. So it's just, it's a fact of life, off it goes.
Yeah. And the weekend, during the summer, you have a Wednesday. So you have a little bit more latitude where you can say, I can go through Wednesday and then get rid of it.
so I,
Those
again-
are the things we work on. And
again, so looking back at that line, we budgeted 122,000. We've expensed year to date 87,000, which leaves us with $35,000 left for the year.
It's gonna be close, huh? Cause it dramatically
Yeah.
goes up in.
In June.
May- In May and June.
Right,
People come up, they to camp and et
right.
cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, but we have already extrapolated that off
I did.
of the summer from July, August, and
Yep.
September. So
Already
we
did
came
that.
out at like 97,000 is what I came
Yeah.
out at.
Well,
97.
Question on the table.
I've got it so that we will have a balance at the end of the year.
So we don't need to increase that.
No.
So we can leave it flat.
Yep.
If not,
Okay.
decrease it.
Decrease it? What's the, what do you have for a balance at the end of?
Your
653.
fingers crossed that a
Around 30.
compressor doesn't go on us.
That's a
Although it's not
different-
that bad, right?
That's a
Was
different
it
line
60,000?
item.
Or 40?
No, it was 32.
60,000, not bad.
So
How much do we have left? Anywhere's from 40,000 plus, maybe
You just
Trio says 35.
a
So
little bit more, maybe.
should we reduce that some or what we're gonna, I mean, 35,000?
Well,
Is that gonna carry us to the end of the?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but extrapolating it out, it comes out to like 97,933, which is not 122 and not 128. So yeah, I think there's some
Room
room,
to,
some room.
we're gonna try to use some of that surface gravel in there. It's getting real muddy.
That's not the waste disposal budget.
right, we're just
So
talking
it's,
about the waste of, just
Yeah, it's
right now.
transfer station.
That you have overage there and you have way overages here. 2 years ago, our budget, year end was 162,000. If we keep over budgeting
Budgeting.
everything, it comes out of people's pockets. I know you guys realize that, but
Well, no,
it literally
but
comes out of
raise it.
people's pockets. But why
Why not
keep it
cut it?
that?
Oh, cut it
Sorry.
back.
Yeah, cut it back. I mean, if we're that much of a difference,
Yep.
making sure that we can,
The meeting last night was everything's tight, everything's just tight, we can't do that, we can't do that, it's too tight, well, there's tons of money laying around.
I have the right now the budget overall with the clawing back in MISC 1. I have it to 196,287.
It's better than I did. I had it at 201, so good. But I do want to make sure that we covered everything, but
I mean, I would personally, if we're gonna leave a buffer in the transfer station budget, which we should have, I would leave it in the waste disposal line. And just cut out that $18,000 ask in contracted, what was it from last year?
yeah, that can just go away because it never came to fruition.
Well, there was $4,000 in it in the year before.
Wait, isn't that for pushing the brush pile back?
No, there was 4,000 in it. It was spiked last year to fund compacting the bulky bins.
Oh, compacting.
Right, we're gonna cut that out because we're not doing it. We can drop that down. You take these two transfer station lines at 45 and 4,000 in the previous years, that gets you to 85. I rounded up to 9,000 to be safe. Assuming
So
that
we've never touched that 18 ever.
Nope, not
not
last
this
year.
year.
Or this year.
So do we have a buffer for a compactor going bad?
Nope.
Hold on a second. We had some, I think I left that blank. I put contractor equipment at the
Well,
bottom.
that's what we have. We have a transfer station capital account,
Right.
Okay,
and that has
about-
80,000 in it based
It's
on the
good.
last audit.
Yeah, 79,000 for the
Yeah,
transfer station and then
Right.
4,500.
And then you take any unspent funds goes into that capital.
Hold, please, there's one
Nope.
for the compactor, 4,500, it has its own compactors
Capital.
count and 79,000.
So the 84 or something.
And
Yeah.
do we know what a new one costs if it does break? It could be just a repair, but
yeah, I mean, we priced one and it was like 35.
Yeah.
100?
Thousand.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
5,000.
Okay.
Cheap, actually.
so yeah,
Well,
I
you
mean, I
got it
think
there.
I think you're safe to claw back knowing that if there's a major overage, i.e. a compactor blows, we've
the
got it in
capital.
capital.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. And that's a savings of $28,000. Does that
Yep.
sound kosher for you?
Well, it will work, but technically capital is not operating budget, but
No, but
as long as you guys are comfortable with it.
Keeps overflowing with over budgeted money, so why?
I mean, that's how we
keep it
ended
out of
up,
people's
I mean,
pockets?
I'm not complaining. I'm just saying the intent and the way that the articles are written. Capital isn't for operating expenses.
I know.
Supposed to be for.
So Jason can buy air
Oh,
packs
yeah.
with capital. He can't pay salary with capital.
Right.
Right.
So you just have to, technically, this is a consideration. I'm not saying we should do anything different. I'm just
The big
thinking
thing
before.
for undesignated funds is gonna be the sand shed. We've gotta watch that. We've got an engineering study already saying 5 years.
And how many years ago was that?
Two. So we've already lost insurance on that building. We do have liability, but there's no insurance on that building. If it falls down, if it burns, that's it, it's gone.
And would that be under transfer station or under roads
No,
and ma-
It's
road-
under its own.
It'd be admin because it's a town building.
Yeah, but we store our salt and sand and salt there.
So we're talking $1 million.
I'll get you.
About that next year.
We'll go there.
I mean, that's a 20, I mean, what do those last? 50 years?
Oh, once you get a new one in there?
Well, if you get a better design than this one, they might.
Right. So, I mean, I would almost say that would be a prime candidate for a
Been a while.
bond,
Quite a while ago.
bond that building.
It was put in the
Not on
late
this
80s.
subject, right?
Is that not this year though?
Oh, no.
No, so I think that's a good reason to not draw down undesignated funds,
We don't even know what undesignated
Right.
funds are.
but we don't have any major projects to put on it this year. We will.
That would be good.
Yeah, Tyler, I agree with what you just said. I was saying the same thing
Right.
earlier. Let's just not keep going after it
No,
until
let's
there's
save it
nothing
for,
left.
I mean, at some point, if once we,
You have to have a certain amount of. it,
right, and
no
if
matter
we're
what.
over that, I think that's when you either use it to offset a one-time property tax reduction, or you move it to capital and take a project that's, a fire truck that's good for 30 years, a bridge that's good for 50 years, a stand shed that if designed
shed.
properly, with the state giving us a design that isn't flawed 5 years after.
Well, I think the other thing that we have to think about when we're talking about this kind of thing is that the comprehensive plan, and if in the
Right.
comprehensive plan, we suggest that there's a new municipal building, fire station and sand
Shed.
salt shed at a different location, then that's something that we have to think
Right.
about.
I mean, I think the replacement of the stand shed, I think it's one of those, the building is failing and we have to replace it regardless of.
Right, but do we want to replace it now and then 5 years from now, we're going to build another brand new one? No.
No,
So, I mean, it's just something to think about as we work on the
Yep.
comprehensive plan.
And I don't think that wasn't mentioned on there.
that wasn't on. The big one is the municipal buildings.
Right, but I've heard that that's included in that.
No,
No.
But
no.
it's worth a conversation.
We're just mentioning things, that's all.
Yep.
Well,
Right.
it would depend on where we get funding for it.
Okay.
Is like-
Back to the transfer station, because it's like
Congressionally correct.
bedtime.
Yeah, I mean, I think other than that, I think transfer station is,
Right.
I think I mean, Camp Laurel number, we won't know what their disposal contract is until they have it.
Right.
This is my stupid porta potty conversation, but and one thing it's under AAA, one thing it's under Pine Tree Waste. Again, we have three. Okay, well, it's still showing up in old stuff. That's so Pine Tree Waste, but then we got the beach one and we got the athletic field one. So
Yep.
again, trying to get
Three
one,
different ones.
3 different porta potties, but let's get one vendor.
It is.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, like it was 3 separate last week topped, so that's good. And you're also gonna get me incomes or Dorcas, I'm not really sure. We have incomes supposedly on all this recycling and stuff,
Yep,
because I don't see it anywhere.
I don't either.
How do you not see it?
I haven't seen
It's
it.
there. Other reports, and it's not perfect. I'm finding, as I shared with Carl and the select board, I'm finding a lot of pictures. Because we've never used Trio in general budgeting.
Yep.
So up at that,
R.
all.
Yep, all. Thank you.
And do those come in as actual like checks, or do they just give us a credit off the bill? Or does it vary?
Okay, white goods, we got 65, basically.
I don't know what I'm looking at.
$100.
And our white goods are our metal container? What is that?
Admin.
Because on
Which one are you looking at?
is that
Oh.
through waste management?
There, got it.
So the,
Replace and open.
Oh,
Metal recyclers.
Yeah, yes.
we don't have a line item for them either, or a contract. What is the name of it?
What was it you said?
Metal recyclers.
Well, there's AIM and then there's Kennebec scrap.
Wait a minute.
Iron, two of them over and over.
You
I
can't
think
see-
you guys do AIM. Yeah,
So
It doesn't say.
right.
I'd like to see that contract too, please.
210.
How do you not have a contract?
They just,
They take it.
they put a bin over there for free and then they haul it,
All right,
right?
do we own that
So,
dumpster?
This number right there that I just said.
We own the
Which one?
compactor.
The revenue for like toilet?
We don't own
The credit
bins.
thing.
No, it's
How-
on a report.
So who
It's
pays
not
the
like
bin?
It's not a money.
it's not a money, it's we threw away 100 tons of stuff, we need to recycle 50% of that. So the more you recycle, the more ton credits you get towards that, I guess is the way I was understanding that.
We get the trophy.
Yeah.
So where do we see what actual money we've gotten?
It's
from
these 3 lines right here.
But we don't even have a
But that-
debit
no.
of paying them. Do we pay them to take it away and they give us a credit? What, how, like who owns the bin? How does this work?
Usually what they do is they supply a bin with a fee. They'll do a hauling fee and then you get whatever is left out of that is. So market price might be, I'm just throwing out a number, but say it's 50 cents a ton on white goods, which is probably high. And then they'll subtract your hauling fee and give you the difference of what the recycling leftover is.
Okay, I just don't, I get a big pile of crap over the weekend and that was not in there, so we need a line item put in to reflect that in the stuff we were given.
For the money.
But the company, we were paying a rental fee and a hauling fee and there's no rec.
That's not waste. Do you have a waste management?
I do, and it's not on there.
It should be on waste management.
It's
Pay a
not.
fee for the metal dumpster.
We do.
You do?
They usually charge a minimum
The
fee.
company's
No,
not even on there.
they
That's
don't.
What I'm saying.
Right, I think they just have it there. You know,
Yeah, we fill it and they weigh
fill
it.
it and then they
Pay
pay
us.
us something
Yeah,
for it.
it's a
Yeah,
good
so you're
deal.
probably getting it at a reduced rate for the
But on
hauling.
waste management, we pay a rental on the bin,
$50 a month,
and then we pay a fee to transport it,
310,
and then we pay to for the weight.
right, which I think is 64 a ton.
Yep.
But this company doesn't exist in the paperwork. Where is the paper trail?
Well, it's just the money that you get back at beginning and end of trail.
But there's no record of what we're given to be on a budget committee to show this piece.
Well, we're not
Sorry.
spending any money on that. Nothing.
But it's an income, which
Okay,
it affects the transfer
not
station.
budgeting, income. I agree with you.
Getting all the amounts. Coming in probably would be a check.
Okay, the 8,000,
Yep.
that 8,000 is what we collect. Not talking to the mic. The 8,000 is the money that Megan collects each week.
That's
So
different.
that is money.
Yes,
So-
that's money that
okay.
comes in each week for couches.
You're right.
Whatever.
Disposal fees.
So that, okay, so before you said that wasn't money, it was just credits. Now you're saying it's money. So
Well,
it is money.
No,
But we were
not
talking about
true.
metal. This is a different bid
Yeah.
now.
No,
and then there's this one
Right.
for 6,000, the white goods we've gotten
the 6,000, however,
6,000
is,
white goods.
let me look. over
And we
that.
do or we don't pay a container fee.
The 6,000 is, okay, 29. I am not sure.
6,000.
It says white goods.
Says cash receipt
Yeah, but it's 20,
from 8/19 of 2025.
yeah, we don't make,
2,963.56.
yeah, we don't
That
make
was
that
the
much.
initial
Breakdown.
receipt
I don't know.
description.
And then there's transfer station.
And I get there's multiple people working in Trio, but we still have companies that are unaccounted for in what we're seeing.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that is. I'd have to look at the journals.
But is that white goods that you're seeing, Tyler? I would view that as that's your recycling payback from the hauling company.
Yeah, but it's too much.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't make that much from metal. 500-600 a load. Whoa, probably,
It's quite a difference.
but not 3,000.
Well, and how many loads go out a year?
4, maybe.
So that's 2,000, 2,400 maybe.
Well, if that's it, there were 3 days.
I can't see it.
What's that? 800.
You're right.
So, I mean, I think getting back to it though, I mean, based on these revenues that we have about 75% through the year, we can anticipate that on our, I'm in the wrong.
Was there, were you able to see a total on that revenues?
No, I just did mental math of of those three
That was the only ones we have.
for transfer station revenues. Yeah.
Okay, because I thought don't we get money from the compacted recyclables?
We
No,
do get,
we paid.
we do get some from recycling.
Well, that's like a kickback later.
Yeah.
We pay,
That could be
and
the
then
3,000.
if they harvest enough cardboard, right?
Yeah. It depends on the year. We did get a check for
Yeah.
recycling.
Did we deposit it?
Oh, yeah. But where?
Is it
Hey, that could
recorded?
be. Could be.
I don't know.
We
So-
just have to grab a hold of this.
I'm trying hard, Bob.
Well, no, I mean, we do have to grab a hold of this.
So how does Megan keep track of all the fees that she has to collect? She use Trio?
No, they
No,
use
she gives it to
paper.
Megan. I mean, she gives it to Heather.
So she uses paper?
Yeah, they fill out a,
It's a two-part form.
Yeah.
So you check couch, $15, she collects 15.
I've done a few of them.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
I just wondered if she had
You
it.
ask for them, and that
Yeah.
could be a policy. If you
Yeah,
take any cash or check, there should be a receipt for it.
Completely
And that would
agree.
help.
I mean, I
Right.
personally would prefer it digitized because I think,
I agree with that too.
They don't have time for that.
Yeah, they do.
yeah, they do.
I
It'd be
think
just as
Megan.
easy
I mean, all it would be is a simple.
Or at home, or not.
No,
not on
I'm
site.
saying have a computer down there with the print, with a
Initiate.
printer. It doesn't need to be tied to the internet. It just needs to be brought back to the town office to get, to get security updates.
We don't
And
have any power.
And that doesn't give me the receipt
Well, you
that I
can just
want.
use an
We are
iPad or
doing
something like
this
that.
whole thing.
Bob, there is plenty of power at the transfer station.
Yes.
You don't have power down there.
You're telling me you
Yeah,
can't
it-
run,
You're Megan.
but you can't run a
Yes,
conduit
yes.
from the.
You could get a bid to run
Yes,
power
yeah.
to that shack.
Fire,
Absolutely.
it Run wires down there.
Yeah.
All of that negates the $8,000.
I was gonna say, but then you're
It
not, yeah,
It
it's
just,
not,
those receipts need to be turned in and added up somewhere.
right. Collected for,
What other income do we get?
Shop has internet. And it has power.
The swap shop does not have a bill for internet, so how is it getting internet?
There is a bill for it.
There's one that says
It has a phone.
telephone. There's
It
not,
was in-
it says internet.
Attachments,
Yeah, they do.
Tyler said.
He has
yesterday.
internet?
Yes.
So
Wow.
again, we're missing items on the budget.
We are putting up cameras.
Oh, that's right.
Those aren't in the budget either.
We didn't buy anything.
That's good.
yeah. It's good. I'm still not sure about that 8,000. Sorry, anyway. Sorry about your ears.
So there's a Spectrum
Moving on.
phone bill. I don't,
So-
where's the
So
phone?
Karen, Spectrum was listed for the transfer station on one of the attachments that
But it says
Tyler sent.
telephone.
Well, no, for internet.
It says telephone.
One of the attachments that Tyler.
Right,
sent this week.
it could, it
Either or.
could go in either or, because
Well, I'm sorry, what I was given from Bob says phone.
I see all those Spectrum.
Is it internet or phone?
The transfer station,
I don't know.
it's internet.
It's got to be.
Spectrum transfer station
Yeah, there's
right
no
here.
fixed landline there.
$80.
We used to have one. Then we had a
We
cell
could probably
phone.
still be paying it.
Spectrum, $80,
right, that sounds right for a Spectrum commercial internet service.
$80.
And it
Yeah,
could be,
mine-
but
Yep.
I'm reading phone.
I'm not disagreeing. I'm just saying that
And why do we have internet at the dump?
because they were going to put cameras in.
So we should cancel that.
I'm gonna argue that we not cancel it and that we put a computer in for digital receiving.
think
I would
that's
suggest that
ridiculous.
go before the committee to
Yes.
see what they think.
Many things, yeah.
Yeah. I don't think that we need to micromanage the transfer station all night. I mean, that they should, whoever's responsible for it should come to, with their budget. You know,
What?
You
I
brought
can't
Bob
say for
the
safety.
budget.
Yeah, the cameras were for safety because we,
People going in.
Feel that there are people going
Not
there.
supposed to be going in.
Off
those
hours.
bins.
We don't
Better
want
keep
anyone
them
jumping
out.
in those.
So now we're gonna film them doing
Yeah.
it?
yeah.
So
And
that
then
you
what?
can, so that you can actually have litigation against them.
We have to keep people.
Well, people were-
out of those bins.
People were picking copper stuff out of the metal bin, and it's a safety issue. as
Like
well.
how many people, how many times did that actually happen?
Thousands.
So do you have
I tell
record
you,
of, do
there's-
you have record of that?
Traffic in there when it's closed and that.
There's a lot of traffic in there, that's the thing.
So how do you know that, Bob? You said- you
Behind in
said-
the tree, he's in the tree.
Behind the tree?
We don't need a camera, we got Bob.
When you open the transfer station, you go down there, that bin has bags in there.
Yeah.
already.
So you can tell someone's been in there, thousands of people.
Game speed internet and it comes to your phone and you can watch it all night long. You want all those.
Every time somebody can look at it,
Tonight.
and see who's there.
It's not-
You can look
Right.
and see who's there.
So
It's a
I
hundred-
think overall,
That sounds good to me, though. Yeah.
Get a game cam.
Nope.
You
It's a lot
can use
cheaper.
the picture.
I did have an answer for you.
Which one?
The Noah and Nellie Clough Trust Fund is for roads.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
so I think for the transfer station, I think we're good with 196,287.
I
Yeah.
think that's much better. Thank you.
That
Round it off.
what'd you say? One?
Just
One,
round it off.
what'd you say?
Why?
what
Round it off to what?
It's in the computer.
200?
Number, you don't have to have it $92, whatever.
What did you say? 192?
196,287. So
Yeah, 96.
so 100.
What's wrong with it?
I mean, what's wrong with an exact number? What do you mean?
Because we're awesome at tracking exact numbers. That's
I mean,
make it
I mean, personally, I would go up rather than down.
Put it 50
Well, you
cents.
that, you're supposed to round down if it's under 5, so it's
Oh.
round down.
Well, I
When
just, I
math
don't know where
people
to,
coming out.
I don't know where to pull more.
Just put the whole regular number.
Uh,
What was it? 196?
287.
287.
there we go. We're leaving it at that.
Any sense to that?
No. Even dollar amount.
You sure?
So,
Yeah.
with that, that is what the budget looks like as of right now.
But you're still gonna send me that income information, right, Bob?
We're up 6.7%.
With school, with county. The town itself is 1.21.
Did we, and you added in the road stuff?
Yep, that's all in there. Well, I mean, we have a $29,000 cut in roads and the elimination of the roads capital adjustment, so that absorbs $80,000 in increases.
We still doing a run through on the rest of it tonight?
Yep, we can go through and just make sure that we're good.
What, did you find a final number for the county yet, or they haven't come to
No,
that?
they
haven't landed
they
on
gave
that?
me a preliminary number of 7 point. No, they've given me a preliminary. They're starting at 7.64.
So is that 7.64?
Yep, that's in there.
in
That's Yep.
Al, are you gonna send this?
yeah.
sheet
I'm gonna
out?
send the update
Okay,
out.
So everybody. okay.
The admin salary lines, based on estimates with the new position, is at 201, up from 166. But that again will kind of adjust as we fill positions and whatnot.
Mail it to everybody.
Yes, and it's going on the website tonight because it's a first draft.
Perfect.
If we're good, this will be the first draft that goes on the website tonight.
I came out, of course, I didn't have that change in there. I came out at 399, 785 with running the real numbers from what I was given. But that didn't include what you just changed on.
Your total with your total town budget?
No, or admin, yeah. No, the admin, sorry, not the town.
So
I took all the stuff we were given. Oh, and one that's not on there is credit card fees. It's an expense.
Yeah.
Doesn't show up at. Oh, yeah,
It does,
I got a few things on that.
credit card fees are expensive.
So when you run a credit card, it's a 3% service fee. That's a fee. That's an expense to us.
We charge that.
We don't show it anywhere in our budget stuff. our bank fees are $100, our supposed bounce checks are 2,600. There's no representation of a credit card fee anywhere.
We just need to work with the clerk and get an estimate on credit card fees. What they're costing us.
But then when you go to the bounce,
Yeah. we charge-
when you have a credit machine, you pay fees.
No, but we charge,
That's
It's
their-
charged.
right, if you look at when they charge you, they put the fee on to you.
Not always legal. I'll check on that. That doesn't mean that it's legal. It wasn't.
It's pretty common these days.
I know, but it's not how it always is.
Yeah.
Okay,
Where are the fees
I will
indicated?
look at that. But so then the $2,600 in like the bounce check fee, it shows up on one of the reports is 27,000. What is that? Do you know?
So that'll be just the proper entry of the check balances. So.
So if it was like $100 check that bounced, that just kept adding up instead of going over here. It was in the wrong account.
And no, it should have just not been counted. It should have gone back and the bill is still due.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, it was like 27. Okay. Okay, training, I think got put under the wrong things. It looks like about $500 was spent on training. Supplies, cause it is around 5,000. Equipment was,
Yeah.
we budgeted 3,000, but it doesn't see, it seems, I think it was said $300 a person, but it looks like people are doing it like $35, $40 trainings.
But we basically have, if somebody finds a training, we have up to $100 a year.
Okay.
Well, we have to take certain years.
Right. And
I know, but we talked about getting a list of the people and what they were, and we don't have that. So I think 3,000 is too high.
I actually think where we have 2 new clerks coming in, we may actually need to bump that.
And then you're merging people. Well, do the list and figure it out, like how many people it is.
Yeah, yep. Let's give me a couple of days.
Yeah. And equipment, it looks like we spent $1,000. Bought a camera, a Knox box, and a computer piece. So I think those are off our equipment lease. The equipment lease should be the postage meter and the copier, and then postage should be postage. Yeah, I know, but doing the math, I know I totally get it, but doing the math out and pulling all those pieces out, our math is, like I said, I came out at $399,785 for working out what we spent, and I put, some extra money in there, and there's room for more. The liens, and actually, there's a quick question for you. The liens, the discharges were recorded like $1,000, but there's no filing and posting them, but you have a postage one. Is that from filing the liens for like $350? Okay. Okay, but there's no, yeah, so it's showing up, and maybe this is for you. It's showing up under postage, but should it go under a lien expense? Or should it be a postage? Okay, that's all right, because I saw discharges, but I didn't see the. Okay,
Thank you.
good night. See you, Paul. I care about $100,000. The audit is coming out at 10,250. We have it at 10,270, I think, or sorry, 750, sorry.
Next year's audit.
Oh, and then the one after that drops off, because you said. So knock 250 off that, and then I'll pick somebody. Um, there's a $500 fee for Mark Gilbert randomly. I have no idea who he is or what he does. He was in the admin somewhere.
He was doing, managing the local access TV.
Right.
Okay,
And
Matt.
It's, I think it's going.
Elections, did we drop,
$4,000.
did we drop the elections down to 3,500? There's a random $3,000 fee. Did that get, I can't see it.
It's not broadcasting. I looked at it the other day.
Not
Yeah.
on the TV. Thank God it's not on the TV, because that was outdated.
A little bit.
Well, so there's. And volume, no volume.
Gonna show up on income though, right? No, will that be an income or you have to pay it to start it? Okay.
Now, wasn't that wrong, Mark? Yeah, I was wrong.
That's what I thought.
Oh,
yeah.
and Mark.
In March, yeah.
Okay.
I agree. I just don't see it yet, but it'll get there. It'll get there.
That's what I mean.
Oh, right now it just says discharges. It doesn't have any other fee on there
Nice
from what I've
pictures.
seen.
I love that.
When it gets there.
Yeah.
An update.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have enough, but social media, I didn't do it. For to announce both meetings.
Yeah. That'd be cool.
I'd like to see.
Thank you.
Some of the.
See the code. Code enforcement was the 25,000 and that is through KV cog.
Yep.
Okay, that got changed. Planning, appeal and legal planning and appeal should each have the 500. They shouldn't be joined. Did we fix that?
No, we're saying that they normally don't use it, so we're only gonna fund.
They
Every-
actually they have training from according to the
Mhm.
this and they spend 180, 150 on training at least. So they should
Then
have-
we'll just put 250 in.
okay, something like that. Legal is only 5,000. Not, oh no, it wasn't even, it's only 3,050 right now.
Right, but we leave money there in case there are legal issues. That way there we're not cutting other things if there's legal issues. And I think. Right.
No, that's a bill for expenses.
But last time we took 3 years and averaged it, so I'm just saying this.
Right, we've averaged it down to 8,500.
I thought it was 6,500.
I think it was 80. I have 85 on the last
Okay.
spreadsheet.
What is trusted tech? Is that the Office 365?
Yes.
Do we have a total number on that? Cause I tried to pull that out. That was. Okay, so I think I put it at 6,500 for software.
What did I do for math? I have the 6,700 plus there's another 1,100 for Zoom.
Oh, so Zoom's not an item on here either. That should be on.
Yeah, but it's software, so it
But
stays.
it doesn't show up anywhere, so. Not so far, but unless it's like an adjustment. $1,100.
And we have, by the way, we have 2 licenses. I don't know what the second license is. Well, I mean, I don't, well, there was an issue the other night where ordinance review was using the Zoom license and I had to like basically kick them out of their meeting to take the license for this. So I do think having 2 licenses in town, one for select board and one for every other committee would make sense.
And you get 1,100 you said for that? You think?
I mean, actually, I can tell you right now.
Yeah, I think when you do unlimited, so 7.
Plans and billing. So ours, we have Zoom. Oh, storage is full. Billing it. So we have. Where payment history.
It's free Zoom.
free. Plan management, it's gonna be right here. Zoom workplace program, probably that. Three, 339.80 annual renewal.
But you think we have two?
And I personally, we always max this storage out, so I wouldn't mind kicking that up a little bit. That's basically the backup of the meetings, the meeting recordings.
So 500 times two?
I would say 500, yeah.
But you want two licenses or that is two?
That is 2 licenses.
Oh, okay, that's not so bad.
No.
MailChimp, we didn't do that all the way out. That was 156. And then we have. What it? Yeah.
I mean, the other
it
thing,
only showed up
though, I
once.
would like to consider on the Zoom actually is to move to webinars for like select board meetings. So that way there we don't have the issue where somebody doesn't mute themselves. That's what the school board uses. It's another $100 a month, but it makes the Zoom meetings a lot easier because these are basically webinars. We're presenting information most of the time, and then you just add people into the meeting.
Isn't there an option to mute all participants?
It is, but you have to do it manually every time they unmute. Like I'm literally sitting there in the meeting muting people.
Okay.
This, you just kind of eliminate that. And I think we'd only need that on one license.
It's $100.
A year, a month.
Oh, wait, that was 500
that
a
a
month or
month?
500 a year?
So this is a year. This
That's a
would
year.
Yeah,
bump Zoom to 1,000 a month, 1,000 a year.
okay.
And the other one's 89 a month.
Yeah.
Shouldn't the people coming to the Zoom mute themselves? You
Yeah.
can see it on the.
They don't.
laptop. They don't. It's.
Yeah.
Several.
You could hear people.
Right, like, and even if you like accidentally hit your space bar, it's gonna unmute you.
Okay.
So you can't control that?
I can, but I have to manually do
And
it.
then you can't pay attention.
And then I
It
can't pay
says-
attention to the meeting.
I get it.
For 5 people?
There was like 10 the other night, Karen.
There was?
Yeah, it was like 10. There's a lot more people joining the Zoom now.
Shocked, yeah.
So if we fix postage, I'm doing this temporary.
Yep.
Cause it is a huge distraction, but it is a cost. That would be.
It'd
like-
also make it like if we did like we had town meeting recorded, same thing.
So say $1,200 on the side over here for a minute. Zoom quiet button.
Google Meets.
Worth looking at. You got time.
Terribly impressed by Tim's.
As somebody who uses it every day for work, I despise it. It's not,
My classes.
it's designed for like, hey, you're on the other side of the business and I need to call you, not like, or like, hey, there's 15 or 16 of us that need to get for a conference meeting. It does that. It doesn't really,
What about Google Meets? I mean, if you have a Google account, that doesn't cost anything extra, does it?
I
I
think,
mean, I use Google Meets all the time.
but I think the thing with Zoom is though, it has all
You
the,
don't like Google Meets?
this records all of our meetings. It generates transcripts for us.
What does the school use now?
Zoom.
They still
Zoom
use
webinar.
Zoom? Yeah,
Or Zoom webinar.
You just said that.
That's
sorry.
why I was,
So I just put that aside for a second.
and like I said, that's just me being a techie and
You are a techie.
So here's our phone, internet and fax,
glad you
and
are.
I went all the way
Good thing
through
you have it.
this
I
and it's
know.
a mess, but. What does Consolidated do? Is it internet, phone or fax?
phone.
All of them.
Yes. They're all-
Okay, and then Spectrum is,
Also, there's
Oh.
a
this is all for the
town
town
hall.
office, and then what is IONOS/financial something something?
Yeah, I think it's in the right piece. Scott uses.
And then GoNet. What do you mean same thing? They can't,
It's another IT piece.
it's IT.
Secure. Oh, it might be security. I like
No.
no.
Scott.
Go net. I'm pretty sure one of them is probably so he can remote in because I know what I pay for TeamViewer and TeamViewer is ridiculous.
And they do have a filter for all the web traffic, but
So if we ask him what those are, then they wouldn't actually be under phone and internet, they would be under like
I
support or
that's
something?
kind of where like in the software lines I've pulled out everything that wasn't. If you look here,
can't see it, but I'll trust
Let me
you.
zoom in. That's why that software line, that extra 1100 is other stuff that web hosting. So that might be,
Because we got that somewhere else, so that explains that.
yep.
So that's web hosting. Thank you. All right. That 7,000 might change. Newsletter, $156 was for MailChimp.
Yeah.
But also, aren't we printing out 35 copies and mailing them?
But that's just in our regular printing. I don't know, we're not mailing them, we're just printing them. And that's just on our print,
Mailing
What
any.
about Dr. Shaw
right, and that's just coming out of our printing contract.
in the vestibule going into the
Yeah.
town office, there's a stat.
Okay. Mileage needed its own line. Did that go? Because it was stuck in payroll.
I have mileage, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I have that up higher because
It came out to 316, so, oh, you got it right there to the right. Yeah,
316.
yep.
I like that idea of a courier.
instead of having somebody
Dorcas. do you
scanning
like that?
too.
Do you like that idea of a courier service to take all the cash to the bank?
How could that be cheaper than $300?
No, it's
Consistency.
Right,
safer too.
to process
Instead-
checks in a timely manner.
Well, we have a check scanner for checks now.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
It's like you.
I'm gonna move mileage to 5 or no.
I think I'm
So you
better.
just reduced it?
Yeah,
Oh,
because
because
it's
of
only
the-
316, so.
Right, and that's halfway through the year, roughly. So I think 500 is a safe number for mileage.
I think I. That's what I figured it was, but I had a question, yeah, utilities, oil, 2,500, electric, 2,000, cleaning was 3,000. Because she was up and down, so I just
Yep.
took it and I just made it even, 3,000, extrapolated out. And then her FICA and PFL is 230, 245, basically.
Yep.
Security should be 1,600. It's low wherever it is because it's a monthly fee.
I think that's on their building.
Uh,
Basically, this was a big lumped number
Yeah.
that I just kind of pulled things out of.
so security 1,600, pest comes out to 1,380. HVAC service, I put 800 because I knew it was like 176 for the. I figure it's 250 a cleaning because you got two scheduled, but they weren't scheduled before. See, the cleaning is under the operation, so add those up. You got security, pest and HVAC is under building maintenance. Does that sound right?
Yeah.
Is there anything else?
That's a perfect excuse for building capital that we put.
Which I think we have, but I buried that.
I cut the SB technology line and I moved that to community center.
I finally figured out SB was select board. I'm
Yeah.
like, what the heck is SB tech?
I moved that to community center technology
That
capital.
one, but they
For what?
still,
Basically, if this system blows, we have a capital account to draw on to replace it. You know, like, hey, a kid is in here and they whack the TV.
Oh, that, they can't go and
we
stay.
throw them in the.
Or I don't have a surge protector and a battery backup yet over there. And yes, it's on the list of things.
All right, I know what I
It'd be a good
got.
idea with the people that, you've got a lot of people coming and going
Right.
here, so.
Also, yeah, there'll be some other things, but like like that right set up over there. I mean, granted, I donated the computer, but that's probably a $3,000 or $4,000 setup if it explodes now.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So
Brings us to mowing. Did anyone find a copy of the contract signed? Signed. It was only like a QuickBooks receipt. The issue is that it's $30,000 and we paid $650 in the transfer station for mowing, which should have been covered under the mowing contract. So what was that?
I think it was for bush hogging up along up along the tree line. Right, up along the tree line, right, bush hogging that.
Oh, it came up, it was mowing, so, and also I have. You paid 4,000 and you owe 26,000, which should be in 7 payments, and it's not being, if you look at the contract that's not signed, that's what it says. The water holes are not on the contract. There's some addresses missing on the contract. There's no dates. It says that the sporting fields are mowed and they have a post last year and the kids are out there picking up leaves and cleaning off the sporting fields. And there was volunteers that came and took leaves and stuff off the fields, and it says, even though it's not signed, it says that that's their job to keep the fields clean. So the contract is completely vague, and it says mowing and raking on the contract, but then it references snow plowing, so I'd love to see a signed contract, please.
Maybe
So
Justin has it.
we need a copy from the mower.
Yeah.
Dustin,
Justin might have it.
Justin, sorry. And all the payments are done before he's even started mowing. It starts in March and then you do 6 payments and then you do another one in May. He hasn't even started mowing. Who does that? I don't find that it's reasonable either, but who prepays for mowing when the mowing hasn't
I mean,
occurred yet,
we start paying the snowplow contract in November.
Right.
right?
We
give him-
usually,
and then 6 payments through the winter while he's plowing,
right,
not prior to him plowing.
right. I mean, we're not plowing in May and we're paying him through May.
But he has plowed already and he's finished plowing. The
Right,
mowing-
but I'm pretty sure that
mowing
the
hasn't
bond, I'm
even
pretty sure that's a
started.
bonded contract, isn't it?
All of them are, and I don't know that we have bonds. Those are due on September 1st, as are their insurance. I don't know if that's been done. Well,
The-
you guys, I had a problem with this contract and I really read it and there's no contract there. And it's,
I said it was signed, what was that, a 5-year contract?
but there's no signed copy, so.
When is it renewed?
Next year.
June.
So is this the last year on?
Yeah,
Yes.
so
This is the
it's
last
basically, as soon as we go to September 1st, we're reissuing that contract.
But is there a signed contract? It's not even a contract. Where is it?
I wasn't on the board, so I don't.
Okay, well, where do we keep documents? We do, and it's
a
not in-
binder. You looked at the binder, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
there's,
it'd be there.
it is not there. And Bob went home and got a copy of a blank one. And I have a blank one. And there's a copy of the bill, but there's no contract. And how can you hold him accountable if there's no, how many times a week does he?
Well, I think one of the situations is we're not always there when they come in. And I'm not passing the buck, but who's ever in the office, if there's an envelope that says, have him sign the contract, they sign the contract, hopefully we're responsible enough to put it in the book. Because we can't be there 24/7. We can't.
Right.
So we have to rely on our office staff.
Yeah.
Well, in the last 2 years, has anybody checked his bond or insurance? Or his equipment, because it says to do that in there too. The lawnmower. I mean, and it's also in the plowing on road and off road to check their equipment and make sure they're insured and make sure they're bonded. Okay, Lee's bond was expired, but there could be a new one, but I don't know where it is. Just stuff to do. It's
There's a lot of stuff to do.
There is a lot of
Right.
stuff to
I
do.
can keep you here for hours telling you what we've
Right,
done.
I'm doing 30 hours a week.
I know. Ditto.
Yeah, it's,
Right,
I get it, but we're writing contracts and spending money and.
I don't
holding
disagree.
People accountable.
I haven't heard any complaints about any of these people
so.
to alert
I-
us that anything is wrong. Should we get everything done? Probably so, which we will do. But there's been no complaints about mowing.
They just gave you one. The kids are out there picking them
I
up.
thought there was something about the fields. So it might be worth it just for somebody to contact Justin and ask him if he
And I
has
think
if he has a signed contract. You've got
Put
some
that in
copy of the
an
contract.
email. I didn't get a response.
So he might have a copy of the contract. He might.
So I'm good to post this first draft. Huh?
It's a draft.
Right.
I was gonna do all of the pages. I took the chart of accounts piece off and it's, yeah.
Did you clean up the capital stuff? We had some,
I
I guess that's,
I'm gonna
we
just-
don't know.
Yeah, well, cause these we don't know. We know the generator move is like 6,000. Oh.
No,
moving-
because we didn't get the full.
Okay, I'm gonna just clear the whole thing out and I'm gonna leave question mark. Question mark.
Yeah.
Do we have
We
any,
don't know that.
do we have any RFPs back yet? Do we?
I don't know. That's the ADA
When
can
was the deadline?
right up soon. Like,
Dan said he talked to a lot of contractors.
I think it's
Coming up soon.
the next the 17th. I think it's the 17th is cutoff. No, I haven't either. So
He was talking to contractors, sorry.
yeah.
Not contracts.
Okay. We haven't got. Yep. Okay. This can go from public non-confidential to draft. Town 2026-27 draft. 1.
And we're presenting this when?
Next week,
17th, right?
17th,
At 6
6.
here.
6 o'clock here, public hearing. Files.
What date- Is that is that Tuesday?
Yep,
13th,
yeah.
14th?
And then we'll basically get the feedback on that budget, have a meeting the following Tuesday, have a second public hearing kind of incorporating that feedback, any more information we have. And then it's off to the select board at that point.
So for the presentation next, we're not going to meet before that?
Yep,
So
I will circulate this filled in kind of, I'm gonna just run it all through AI and summarize where it is now.
Crap, I have 3 more things because we didn't touch on them.
correct,
Because it takes a like 3-hour process and jams it down to like 10 minutes.
Don't send that yet, Tyler. We have 22,000 in the athletic field account, so I don't know why we keep putting 1,400 in every year. We have like 9,000 in the beach account. According to it, we have 60,000 in the library account. There's a lot of money sitting there and we keep rolling stuff in and I don't know why.
We talked about the 60,000 with the library.
Right,
We
the
did it
library's already
here.
worked. You're gonna use. Right, that's why you're only drawing it down 16,000, right?
But you have another account with 55,000 in it. Yeah.
Right. Right, I don't think, I mean,
But because you weren't here, with a question though on that, was 60,000, no, sorry. 16,000 or 30,000 that you were asking the town to raise. Okay,
so yes, you're using 16,000 of those funds.
Spend a week here.
It's going on the website right, like as we speak.
but what about the 1,700 and the beach fund, and there's like a public something fund and.
Have to say where it's coming from. You have to, it has to say where that money is coming. can't just say.
Bob, this is for, that's for the special town meeting, and I said it's coming from undesignated. Okay, I can edit that, but this is for the budget.
Yeah.
The budget can, this is what's going on the website. Yes. Yes, okay, yes. I'm not publishing the special town meeting just yet. I'm publishing the first draft of the budget.
But what about the athletic money and the beach money and we keep putting money in that there's nothing which, what's that?
Yeah,
The first draft.
the first draft.
First
is.
draft.
But I had questions that I forgot.
So
That's what I'm asking.
I mean, we can cut it.
I think it's important to keep putting money towards those things. I mean,
Right.
we've been trying for years to get a swim program back up, to hire somebody to do the
Right, and all
swim.
these
We
do is build
haven't,
capital, that way.
you know, we haven't been able to do that. I mean, they have to do work on the fields and they, you know, the equipment that they have to buy. I think it's
I want
important
to,
to.
but they don't, they don't even know it's there, I guess is my point. There's 22,000 in the athletic association.
Well, the other thing that when we were doing the skating rink, and we're still talking about the skating rink, we were talking with them to see if that was a place we could get some money towards a skating rink. So, I mean, I think it's important to keep that.
And we're talking $3,000 a year that we build up. We're just building capital accounts. You know, at some point, you know, they had to rebuild one of the dugouts
the
a year
dugout.
ago.
Yeah.
You know, so having those capital accounts is prudent financial management.
We need to be more transparent and tell people that money is there because nobody knows it's there.
I agree with that.
I don't disagree,
I
but I'm
agree with
not
that.
gonna.
There's only one audit report available online. I did ask for the past 5 years of audit reports. But we have them, you just scan them in.
Did you have electronic file?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll have this.
But all of this change and stuff.
It does, that's where I got it from, but I had to like dig. But if I wanted to talk to somebody about having a swim association, that it's not readily available to people.
Well, and it,
You know how much growth there's been over the past 3 to 5 years?
I know.
It's incredible. Please recognize what has been accomplished.
right, there is still a lot of work to do, but I get paid $4,000 a year and I do this part-time.
30
like-
hours a week is part-time.
No, we have, we're gonna have two. Like we're running this town on volunteers and part-time. There are things that aren't done that aren't easily available, and we just have to recognize that. Otherwise, we can raise the admin line to $1 million and pay a bunch of people full-time to do this.
So there's the other one. You wanted to pay somebody to put the stuff in for the road data.
People have said they don't want to do that. We're not doing it.
Who said that?
What would it be?
Kurt, I think Kurt said he could do it, didn't he? Somebody
No,
said they
A
could
bunch
do
of
it.
people said they were going to volunteer to do
Yeah,
it.
somebody said they would.
I
do
did.
it. Did you?
I said it. I volunteer too. I'm volunteering on this committee. I'm volunteering on the comprehensive planning committee. Like, yeah, we need more volunteers, but they need to see stuff.
Right, and I
And
think,
I do see stuff being done.
I think we do, I mean, at least I do really appreciate the changes that have been made, because I've seen them and I've lived them. And I think we always have to keep in mind the taxpayers
Mhm.
as we're making these changes.
I mean-
It's always that balance.
For that to be our first draft line number is good.
I think it is too.
You know,
I
like,
just was questioning why he kept putting money in there, but if you have plans on it. and
right,
people
it's,
know about
we're
it,
I
building,
think it's the people know about it is the
you
key.
need to know about it.
Yeah.
I mean, I had to dig through all of this, beg for
So
information.
it's, Vanessa still our athletic director.
Well, she's involved with whatever her kids are involved in, you know, basically, that's it. But a lot of these things are moving to a more regional
right.
programs, so
Maybe if we don't need to keep these programs.
I think it's important to have those conversations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, or, yeah, that we're not mowing.
I think they're gonna have a baseball team. I saw some things about baseball tryouts, but I couldn't tell if it was a regional or if it was just Mount
It
Vernon.
is hard to tell.
I think it was regional.
And, or some of that money could go towards some of the fees and those regional things too, because it benefits our kids.
Right.
So.
Alright.
On a night,
Good.
I'm posting it on the website.
It's way past my bedtime.
Mine too.
Website.